the service after the sale.
Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz.
But now I'm counting this. Parmesan with my accountant lips. In fact, I'm down in this. You say with my boo babe tastes like Kool-Aid for the analyst. Girl, I can buy your Westie world with my base stuff. I know that it's good. Won't you sit it on my taste buds? I get way too petty once you let me do the extras. Pull up on your block and break it down. We playing Tetris. AM to the PM, PM to the AM phone. Eat up your per diem. You just gotta hate them phone. If I quit your BM, I still rock Mercedes phone. If I quit this season, I still be the greatest funk. My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down.
Welcome in Out of Bounds, live from TruService Credit Union Studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce. We got a full show today, and we're going to do something during the show. We're going to give away some Razorbacks baseball tickets for tomorrow. So if you can go to the game tomorrow, listen up. We're going to play Arkansas by Justin Moore sometime during the show. So if you hear Arkansas by Justin Moore, all you have to do, be one of the first two callers. There are two callers that are going to get a pair of tickets to Razorbacks baseball tomorrow. So make sure you can go, first of all, when you hear the song, call in, be one of the first two callers. You're going to get a pair of tickets to Razorbacks baseball tomorrow. But we're going to start in San Jose with Trey Schapp.
Coverage of the NCAA Sweet 16 in San Jose on the Buzz is brought to you by First Security. First Security Bank. Bank better. Bet Saracen. Bet Saracen is the leader in sports betting in Arkansas. Make sure you have the Bet Saracen app downloaded on your mobile device. Bet with Bet Saracen and start winning today. AR Scholarship Lottery, brought to you by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. This is winning. Sunstar Insurance of Arkansas. Sunstar Insurance, shining bright across Arkansas as one of the fastest growing insurance agencies in the natural state. Kaufman by Design West. Count on Kaufman. Count on service, satisfaction, and always savings. Bale Chevrolet. Come see us at Bale Chevrolet, proudly serving Arkansas since 1912. Shop Bale Chevy and BaleChevrolet.com today. Together, let's drive. Now let's head to San Jose and join Trey Schapp.
What's up, Trey? How's everything
What's
there
up, Freak?
San Jose?
Good. Sun's out, not a cloud in the sky, and ready for basketball to begin.
So what's kind of the plan for the team today as they play 6:45 there? So got a little time until game time.
Yeah, so had a shoot around earlier, and so might actually be in it right now. But they have their shoot around time. Each team gets an allotted time on the floor today, and then I'm sure they'll do a walkthrough, little film study, and then just get off the feet, rest, relax, recoup, hydrate. That's one of the main things. As fast as this team plays and as up and down the court as they get, and the limited number of players that are playing, they need to hydrate and make sure they don't have cramping issues. I know Billy Richmond was kind of dealing with that at the end of the High Point game. During some of the timeouts, athletic trainer Matt Townsend would be over, he had one of those guns out working on his calf muscles. And so you want to be ready to go when the ball is tipped at probably around 6:45 here in San Jose tonight.
Who'd you get a chance to talk to yesterday?
Well, got a chance to talk to quite a bit. Nick Pringle, he's going to play, says he's ready to go, 85%, but by today could be up to 90%, maybe 95. I don't think he'll be 100%. I don't know that anybody is really that plays a lot is at 100% right now. Got to talk to Darius Acuff Jr., got to talk to Malik Thomas, DJ Wagner. We heard from Trevin Brazile and Billy Richmond on the podium. Also got a chance to talk to Malik Ewan. So, and then we heard from Coach Cal on the podium as well. So got a chance to talk to everybody yesterday pretty much.
Oh, that's good. Great news on Nick Pringle. So you said that he said he's not 100%. So did he put a percentage on it, or did he just say that he's going to do what he can?
Yeah, no. When I asked him, I said, what percentage are you at right now? He said, he said, I'd say 85%. And so then I said, does that mean you're going to play tomorrow? And he said, yes, sir. He said, that's the plan. That's the plan right now. Yes, sir. So we'll see.
All right. Who else stood out to you? Maybe going through some practice. What did you see yesterday?
Well, Carter Knox is not going to play. I know that he's been a question. Would he be ready? Coach Cal has said if they get to the Final Four that he could potentially join the team back and play then. I'm not sure because he didn't do anything in practice yesterday. He kind of sat on the side on a bench during their practice in the arena. But Nick Pringle started out just, trying to get the hamstring loose, started on an exercise bike, and then went to doing some shuffle drills along the baseline while the rest of the team was going through shooting drills. And then once he got stretched out, he was out there on the floor. He dunked the ball that we had the opportunity to see. So he was getting up and down with the guys running, and not sure how much he did after the 15 minutes that we were allowed to watch, but it's my understanding that he did quite a bit in practice. And nope, I don't think he's going to start. I think they keep Malik Ewan in the starting lineup tonight, but I do think that he will see some action. And if anything, he can give the guys a little bit of a breather. When you can bring him in for a Trevor Brazil, a Malik Ewan, even maybe Billy Richmond, maybe you have to go really big in the game and put 3 forwards or post players in the game, if you will, to go with Acuff and Thomas. I wouldn't put that past Coach Cal to do that. You could put Trevor and Brazil on maybe Pete for Arizona. Since he's a 6'8" guy, put Trevor and Brazil at 6'10" out there on Pete. He's been able to guard some guards at times, and maybe that is something that they have up their sleeve to try.
How do you feel this team is equipped to go forward? Got Pringle available, but still kind of dealing with that limited roster. You expect to see maybe Isaiah Sealy get some more time on the court?
Well, and that is something, Joe, that Coach Cal is not afraid to do. He said he's not afraid to put Isaiah Sealy into the game if he needs to. So that could happen. I think if Arkansas is hitting their shots and if they're shooting well from the perimeter, I think they have a really good chance to win the game. You will have to keep Arizona off of the glass. They are averaging 51.5 rebounds per game in the NCAA tournament. They had 52 and 51. So you're going to have to keep Arizona off of the boards. But how do you do that? You make shots. That keeps Arizona off of the glass. And, Joe, watching the Utah State game on Sunday, Utah State missed a lot of shots, and that gave Arizona a lot of opportunities to grab rebounds.
What do you expect to see from Arizona and maybe getting a chance to scout them a bit?
I think they're going to try and throw it inside. I think they're going to try to utilize their size, their strength inside. They get to the free throw line, and so that could be a concern if you're Arkansas. You don't need guys getting into foul trouble. If you can get through the first half with no more than 2 players with 2 fouls then I think you're going to be okay. I mean, you might be able to, afford a foul here and there, but you don't want multiple guys with multiple fouls heading into the second half because, crunch time, there's going to be a lot of probably a physical play in the second half. You're going to have physical play through the whole game, but I think the second half, depending on how it's called, that could be the real X factor in this game. Will the officials let the 2 teams play, or will they call it tight? And Coach Cal his basic point that he made yesterday is, I don't care how they call it, just as long as they call it consistently. If they're calling a foul on one end, you got to make sure you call the same foul on the other end.
That's how most coaches are operating, especially this time of year where they want it to be just consistent either way. And then they're not really complaining simply because when you complain, that filters down through your team and maybe it sends a bad message. That's just like there have been coaches asked about travel, asked about playing certain teams in certain areas. It's tournament play, so you have to just roll with it, whatever the schedule says, however they say you need to be there, when you need to play, who you're playing. This is the time to roll with it. It's tournament play, and that's what tournament play is all about. They can't control
You're right,
it.
Joe. No, you're exactly right. You can't control where you're sent. Well, the only way you can control that is be the best team in basketball, and then you basically get to pick. If you're the number one overall seed, you get to pick the region you want to go to, and you would have stayed close to home. If Arkansas would have been the number one team in the seeding, if they would have played better during the regular season, if they would have beaten Michigan State on the road, if they would have beaten a Houston up in New York, if they would have beaten Duke, then you would have been able to say, okay, we're the number one seed. We want to go to Oklahoma City, and then we want to go to Houston. And so that's how you can control that. When you're a lower seed, you don't really get to control that. You have to play at the times they say. You have to play where they say. The only good thing I will say is Arkansas, and for those that have been listening, yes, we've said it multiple times, they did not travel back to Fayetteville after the win over High Point on Saturday. They went to Sacramento on Sunday, bus down to San Jose on Tuesday. So they've stayed on the West Coast. They've adapted to the time zone out here, the time change of 2 hours from Fayetteville. And so they're a rested basketball team. So they're not coming off of having to play 3 games in the SEC tournament and then a quick turnaround for a Thursday, Saturday game in the NCAA tournament, travel all the way back to Fayetteville, spend one night maybe in their own bed, and then turn around and fly back again. 2 nights, I guess, if they would have flown on Sunday. So a quick turnaround, yes, but they decided to stay out here, unlike Texas, who actually did fly back late after their win over Gonzaga. They flew back to Austin Sunday evening, got in early Sunday morning, Saturday evening, got in early Sunday morning, and then turned around and came out here on Tuesday.
What time you getting to the arena tonight?
Going to head over there here in just a little bit, Joe, to do a little video stuff for our social medias and put that on Twitter and Facebook. So be looking for that. It should come out probably sometime within, I would say, the next 2 hours. Going to take a little bit of time to edit it down, but that's the plan. So they open the arena. The media workroom is open at noon out here. So that's 2 o'clock back there. So that's the plan today. And then hopefully, the Razorbacks get a win and we get to talk about a win tomorrow and put a whole lot more stuff out there for the fans to consume and talk about the potential of getting to a Final Four with a win tonight. The Hogs would be in the Elite Eight and a chance to win one more to go to Indianapolis.
So you'll be in the arena for Texas Purdue. You're going to be there early enough so you'll be able to see everything.
I plan on watching that game, because if Arkansas wins, that's their next opponent. And how ironic would it be? Joe, I think back to the late 80s, the early 90s, before Arkansas left the Southwest Conference in Reunion Arena, Barnhill South, they called it, Arkansas, Texas. Arkansas and Texas matched up in a regional final down there in the early 90s. I want to say it was 1990, I believe, when they went to the Final Four. It might have been a Sweet 16, but I believe it was a regional final, if my memory serves me correct. I should have looked it up to make sure. But, if it comes down to Arkansas and Texas for a chance to go to the Final Four, how cool would that be?
It'd be great. It would be great simply because at this time now they're in the same conference once again. And so we know what the history is with Arkansas, Texas. But if you're talking about any team, SEC-wise or any conferences that are out there, because there are some possible matchups where we could see St. John's and UConn, who are conference rivals. We can see a matchup in the next round if they both win. So got a couple of scenarios where conference rivals could be going at it, but that's what you're going to get. Sometimes you get it earlier in the tournament. They try to avoid it as much as they can if they have so many teams that are there. But when you get down to this point, you only have so many teams left. You're running out of places to place these teams to avoid each other until later. So at some point, they're going to have to play if they both keep winning.
Yeah, you're right. The cream always rises to the top, and that is what is happening here. If Arkansas is able to win, that kind of bolsters the SEC, and if Texas is able to win, it bolsters the SEC a little bit. And kind of boost them up. And you look at Texas and what they have done once they got in. I mean, they were one of the last teams in, had to go to Dayton to play in a play-in game. They beat NC State, and they go out to Portland, and they beat BYU in the first round. Then they beat Gonzaga in the second round, and now they're facing Purdue. I mean, they have nothing to lose. And so they're not a Cinderella, even though they're an 11 seed. They're not a Cinderella because they have the largest athletic budget of any school in the country. So you can't tell me they're a Cinderella. They should not be an 11 seed. They should be expecting to be in the dance year in and year out and probably battle for a 5-4 seed and every now and then get on up there. I know they don't have a rich basketball history, but they're not a Cinderella. But if they get past Purdue and Arkansas wins, what a matchup in San Jose for the right to go to the Final Four.
Did you see a lot of Texas fans in Portland, and have you seen plenty
No.
in San Jose? Oh, you didn't? Okay. Because interestingly enough, Arkansas always travels well no matter where they're playing. So plenty of Razorbacks fans there, a lot of High Point fans that were there. So just wondering, like we're talking about with Texas, with that budget, with everything that comes with Texas, you would think that they would travel well the same way.
Well, you would think, and the fact that I think they had to go to Dayton and then to Portland, it was a quick turnaround. I did see their athletic director, Chris Del Conte, on Saturday before Arkansas and High Point when they were playing Gonzaga. And I asked him, I said, Chris, have you been with the team all the way? Did you go to Dayton? He goes, no. He goes, I don't go to the play-in games. So he joined the team once they got to Portland. And obviously he's going to be here today in San Jose to watch Texas. But I expect Texas will have more fans here than they did in Portland. Arkansas, I expect, will have more fans here than they did in Portland. They had more fans in Portland than Texas did. I can guarantee you that. And yeah, High Point chartered a plane to take over 200 students to the first round game. And then they chartered another plane to take another 200 students for the second round game against Arkansas. So High Point flew their fans out there. The Razorbacks and the Longhorns, everybody else basically have to do it with their own money. They're not flying the students out. The programs are not for the Sweet 16.
Well, if you can afford to do it, that is the way to go about it.
Yeah.
With High Point. But yeah, and then you make a great point also where the farther you advance in this tournament, you're going to have more fans show up because the excitement goes up. But it also gives you a chance to kind of see what happens along the way, and then you know that your team is entrenched and you can go ahead and start making those travel plans because right there at the beginning it is fresh and you don't know exactly where you're going. But once you get out of that first weekend, now everything lines up and you know where you're going to be.
Yeah, and also the fact that the further you advance, the more tickets you get for your fan base. So that first round matchup, you don't get as many tickets as you do for the second round matchup, the Sweet 16, the Elite Eight, the Final Four. If Arkansas is able to make it all the way to the Final Four, the ticket allotment goes up by quite a bit. And the fact that if you make it to the Final Four, you're in Indianapolis, you're playing inside of a football stadium. So there are plenty seats to be had in there.
All right, Trey, let's put our rose-colored glasses on. Let's say Arkansas beats Arizona. Are they playing Texas or are they playing Purdue?
I'd like to say they're playing Texas and they beat Texas. But I think Purdue poses a tough challenge for Texas. But I do like the matchup inside in the Purdue-Texas game. Texas has some length, some beef, and so does Purdue. And don't forget, Purdue's got a great point guard as well, who actually is from the state of Arkansas. I mean, his parents, I believe, played at Arkansas Tech. And so that is another sidebar that if Arkansas gets past Arizona, they're either going to play Purdue or Texas. Some of the stories coming around that game, the guard for Purdue, Tremont Mark for Texas, who played at Arkansas, also played at Houston. So there will be a lot of storylines if it's Arkansas and whoever they play on Saturday.
Trey, let's take a look at the other two games. Of course, they're in Houston at a different location, but Iowa, Nebraska, what do you think there?
Well, Iowa's never been this far. In fact, they had never won a tournament game until last week. I see Todd's got his, Nebraska, pardon me. I see Todd has his Cornhusker shirt on. So
Always.
Iowa's been further, but I wouldn't put anything past Coach Hoiberg at Nebraska. I think he's done a great job with that program. Husker fans ought to be glad he's there. With some of the other openings that are happening around the college basketball landscape. Don't want to say anything, but Todd, you better hope that they can lock him down. I'm sure they're going to try. But I like Nebraska in that game against Iowa. And then, Joe, the other one, Illinois and Houston. I mean, Houston playing at home. They're 3.5 miles away from campus.
Yeah.
Where they're playing downtown there. So I like the Cougars to beat Illinois.
Yeah, and going back to Nebraska, how about the story with Fred Hoiberg, his twin sons? One of them plays, and one of them is a grad assistant coach. So that's it's fantastic, man, to have a family setting like that. Kelvin Sampson has something similar where his son is on staff and his daughter's on staff. So great stories and great family stories and connections coming out of this NCAA tournament.
Could you imagine if Arkansas and Nebraska both reached the Final Four? Nebraska's never been there. Arkansas hadn't been there since '95. The clash of red and cardinal in Indianapolis.
I've got family I can stay within Indianapolis, so that's not a problem.
Oh, that'd be a good deal. All right, we appreciate it, Trey. Always good hearing from you. Now, depending on the result tonight, are you going to come on tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll have to see what the plan is. I'm not sure about trying to get a flight back if they lose, what that looks like, and all of that stuff. So let's just plan on being on tomorrow. We're going to say the Hogs are going to win, and we'll be on tomorrow talking about Arkansas and the Elite Eight.
There we go. All right, Trey. Have a good one,
All
man.
right, guys.
All right, latest from Trey Schapp there from San Jose.
Coverage of the NCAA Sweet 16 in San Jose on the Buzz is brought to you by First Security. First Security Bank. Bank better. Bet Saracen. Bet Saracen is the leader in sports betting in Arkansas. Make sure you have the Bet Saracen app downloaded on your mobile device. Bet with Bet Saracen and start winning today. AR Scholarship Lottery, brought to you by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. This is winning. Sunstar Insurance of Arkansas. Sunstar Insurance, shining bright across Arkansas as one of the fastest growing insurance agencies in the natural state. Kaufman by Design West. Count on Kaufman. Count on service, satisfaction, and always savings. Bale Chevrolet. Come see us at Bale Chevrolet, proudly serving Arkansas since 1912. Shop Bale Chevy and BaleChevrolet.com today. Together, let's drive.
Arkansas, land of opportunity, Arkansas. All what you do to me, the prettiest place that I ever saw was back home in Arkansas. All those boyhood memories, lakes and rivers and blackwood trees, gentle mountains reach to the sky. Oh, how I hated to say goodbye to Arkansas, land of opportunity, Arkansas. Oh, what you do to me, the prettiest place that I ever saw was back home in Arkansas. Dirt roads that lead nowhere, except the houses that need repair. Front porch people wearing a smile, and they cover every mile of Arkansas, land of opportunity, Arkansas. Oh, what you do to me, the prettiest place I ever saw was back home in Arkansas.
can see my dad back home, working Pike County sand and foam. Mama calling me from the door. Oh, how I want to go once more to Arkansas, land of opportunity.
The NCAA tournament is underway. How's your Bud White bracket looking? Go to 1037thebuzz.com to check out the leaderboard.
This is Sports Center.
The Razorbacks take on the Arizona Wildcats in the Sweet 16 tonight at San Jose. The game will be at 8:45 on CBS. This is the 9th time overall that the Razorbacks and Wildcats have faced off on the hardwood. The first meeting between the two schools dates back to 1949, where the Razorbacks beat the Wildcats 65-44 in Dallas, Texas, during the NCAA District 6 playoffs. The most recent meeting between the two schools was in November of 1995, when the Wildcats beat the Razorbacks 83-73 in Fayetteville for the preseason NIT. The first game of the Sweet 16 is tonight at 6:10 on CBS as Texas takes on Purdue. On TBS and True TV at 6:30, Iowa takes on Nebraska. And after the Arkansas-Arizona game, Illinois takes on Houston at 9:05 on TBS and True TV. I'm Trip Keeter for the Buzz Radio Network.
Pat Bradley joins Randy and Rick on Drive Time Sports each week, courtesy of Razorback Camper Sales in Hot Springs. Celebrating 57 years in business, offering all new travel trailers, fifth wheels, and pop-ups at RV show prices. Explore their inventory in person or online at RazorbackCamperSales.com. Randy, Rick, and the Shooter on 103.7 The Buzz.
Oaklawn is here for when you want non-stop racing and non-stop action. The season's back, the weekends are packed, and it's time to plan your visit. The classic racing season kicks off January 30th and runs through May 2nd with exciting weekends, great food and drinks, and the kind of atmosphere you can only find in Hot Springs. It's fast, it's lively, it's time to win. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
On these acres, weekends aren't a break. When the ground fights back, the John Deere 4044M leans in. Because it's built like the people who run it. Tough enough to stay one more hour. Strong enough to finish the job. Take more than $7,000 off or pay $507 per month at 0% for 84 months at Greenway. Learn more at gogreenway.com. Some restrictions apply. See Greenway for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2026.
Down south, a handshake means something, and we let our actions do the talking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is rooted in Southern tradition and grit. Southern-born and raised and Arkansas-based, Brad Hendricks is named a Mid-South super lawyer year after year. So for car and big truck wrecks, medical malpractice, wrongful death, bankruptcy, and Social Security claims, his law firm produces results. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Southern roots, serious results.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. In his song Against the Wind, Bob Seger writes about growing older and yearning for the simplicity of past times. He laments the grind of touring, moving 8 miles a minute for months at a time. He ponders what to leave in and what to leave out. This song speaks for a lot of us and our issues with the current state of college football, with the transfer portal and players always going to the highest bidder. We wish it could be the way it used to be, but it's not. So we're older now, but still running against the wind. Many Doublebee's locations have Chester's Chicken and Big Rock Pizza to get you a fast, delicious meal. And if you're around Clinton or Cabot, you can add some Baskin-Robbins ice cream to that. Doublebee's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebee's.
If there's anything green in your yard right now, it's probably a weed, and you need to do something about it. Weed control and fertilization service from Sanders Ground Essentials is easier and less expensive than doing nothing or trying to do it yourself. I did that one time and almost killed my yard. Sanders Ground Essentials saves you time and money and makes your yard the envy of the neighborhood. Don't wait. Do it now. Call Sanders Ground Essentials and get started with Sanders Ground Essentials Weed Control Program. Servicing all of Central Arkansas, including Cabot and Jacksonville. On the web at sandersground.com. Let's get growing.
Out of bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios. Online at TruService.net.
sack. Is that all you get for your money? And it seems such a waste of time. If that's what it's all about, Mama, if that's moving up, then I'm moving out.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds from TruService Credit Union Studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce. And we're going to hear some horse racing picks. We're going to talk to Mark the Magician and get all the latest on what's going on in horse racing.
It's time for Mark the Magician, Out of Bounds horse racing handicapper.
Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty.
He's feeling it.
Please home. Look out!
Had to bring you in right, Mark.
Man, if that intro doesn't get you fired up, nothing will. Nothing will. That's all I'm telling you. My gosh, I'm in Paradise City as we speak right here in Hot
Hey,
Springs,
Mark,
Arkansas.
did you go to the concert last night?
No, I did not go to Journey. I studied all my stuff. You know, Journey's a little 3 or 4 steps below Guns N' Roses, so I've seen Journey 6 or 7 times, so I've done my share of Journey concerts, and I'm waiting for Guns N' Roses. They start their tour at the end of this month, and I'll be seeing them at least 6 times this summer.
Okay,
sure.
So Guns N' Roses, and are there other groups that you follow through a summer tour?
Guns N' Roses, Alice Cooper I'm big into, Judas Priest when they're out, but they're getting kind of old, and I don't really see them much anymore. L.A. Guns, Faster Pussycat, you know, bands like that, that's right up my alley.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's why you got to see Judas when they get out, because if they're not going to do it much longer.
No, they won't tour much longer, but like I said, I've seen my share of Journey, but bands like that still have it and still sound great live, you've got to go see them, and GNR's going to play at that new amphitheater up in Branson this year, and I haven't seen the new amphitheater yet, so that's going to be a really cool deal in September to do. I've spent 3 days in Branson. Hadn't been up there in 25 years, so that's going to be a great weekend.
So what's happened with races so far today?
Well, so far we've ran 2 races. Ran out in the first race. It wasn't one of my best races. And then second race, of course, boom, we bounced right back with my top choice, Bourbon's Fault. We're getting ready for race number, well, as a matter of fact, they just ran while I was talking to you. I had them pick 5-4, and guess how they ran, Joe? 5-4. Nickel and Dime got there. Spitfire ran second. They just crossed the finish line as we were speaking on the phone there. So I made money just sitting here talking to you, right? So great race card today. And, you know, it's Arkansas Derby weekend. I don't know if you know that or not, but it's Arkansas Derby weekend. There's going to be 40, 50, maybe 60,000 people here Saturday with only 65 degrees, infield open, no rain. It's going to be a dream come true. And the only thing better that could happen, when the Hogs win tonight, we play again this weekend, have the Hogs and the horses. That would just be a dream come true for sure.
So how are you going on that game then, Mark? Are you going to make a play on it or what?
Yeah, you know, they offered that free money on all these new betting apps that we got going across the state, so I had to sign up and get my free 300, and I just went ahead and took the 8.5 points they were giving, and I look up a day and a half later, now it's at 7.5 points. So I think they'll win the game outright, but if something happens and they trip up, I don't think they're going to beat us by 9 points. So getting the plus 8.5 was perfect for me, and I threw in some parlays with the over-unders with Darius Acuff and how many points he'll score, and kind of learning about that and threw a little NBA with it and try to do me a 4 or 5 team parlay, and hit one the other night on a $25 bet, paid $576.90. So just kind of practicing my parlays and won $500 just messing around with the free money.
Just messing around. How about that? Spread some of that love, Mark. You gotta give everybody else some winners. So let's do it for today.
Let's do it for today, and then, of course, I'll talk to you tomorrow, and then Saturday is Derby Day, so we got 3 full days of racing. Let's go to race 5. That's one I really like. I know the owner really well. We've already made a ton of money on this horse. Number 8, Honey's to Blame. Race 5, number 8, Honey's to Blame. The 5 horses scratched out of this race, so all you need here is for your exactas, trifectas. TV 8 with a 3-5-2-7. Number 8 with a 3-5-2-7. And I've mentioned the key boxes. When you got your app now, you're probably learning how to do a trifecta key box. You can do a trifecta key box really cheap by keying the 8 with a 3-5-2-7. That means the 8 doesn't have to win. He can run, or she, or he it is in this case, can run first, second, or third. It just needs to have those other horses with him when it comes across the finish line. So you need the 8 in with a 3-5-2-7. You got you a nice trifecta. We did that going out the door on Sunday. It paid $101.50 on a 50-cent key box. So just think if you step it up and do $1 or $2 or $3, the more you wager, the more you're going to hit when you win. Now, don't get carried away. Now, we don't want anybody to go above their limits at all, for sure. Let's go down to race number 7. I love this horse. I'm betting this horse right on the nose. Number 3, Dare Greatly. Number 3, Dare Greatly. Ramon Vasquez riding for Peter Miller. Big win place on the winning place wager on this one. Number 3, Dare Greatly. Make sure there's no scratches. There was a 2 and the 4 are both scratched in this race. So toss those out. So key the 3 with a 9-6-8 in the 7th race. You should get a real nice exacta and a decent trifecta in that race, and that kicks off the late pick 3. You can't make it out to Oaklawn today. You've got all these apps you can bet on. You can bet from wherever you are, and then you can come see me. I'm at the Crosswalk Bar and Grill. I'll be here every single day, just like I've been for the last 24 years. I'll be doing it again for another 24 years. And as you walk in the door, you can get my plays right there from the young ladies selling the tip sheets and the programs and all that. Just ask for Mark the Magician's plays. And when you're ready, I'll take you out the door and win, and we're going to do it today. What do you think, Joe?
Okay, all right. Well, let's do this then. We're speaking about some of these, if you're a new customer getting on some of these apps and maybe doing some of this for the first time, if there's somebody that's just getting into horse racing and want to do some wagering, how do you recommend getting started with that? First of all, get Mark the Magician's pick sheet, but how would you recommend going about some of the wagering?
Start off with your winning place bets and your exactas. Winning place is first and second, and exactas are keying your first 2 horses first and second. Start off with that, and then you can get into your daily doubles, exactas, tries, and supers. And if you're coming out to the track, come over and see me. I don't mind explaining this. I've explained this to literally thousands and thousands of people over the last 24 years. I've already explained it to at least 70 or 80 folks this morning. Busy Thursday here in Hot Springs for sure, everybody in town. And learn how to do this stuff. Don't let it scare you when I mention a key box, because I kind of explained it about 6 times this year, and a lot of people came up and said, thanks for explaining that. I didn't have a clue even what a key box was or how to use it. But the best way to get started is winning place wagers and little exactas where you're just hitting the first 2 horses that run first and second in a race. And then you can kind of move on from there. And the 10-cent supers are really, really a big deal at Oaklawn. Those are bets where you can box up 4 horses or 5 horses for 10 cents. And if you do a 4-horse box for 10 cents, it's only $2.40. Now, when you add that 5th horse in there and box up 5 of them, it goes up to $12. So your bet will increase the more horses that you add in a wager. But the key box is literally the key. If you've got a horse you really like, you know he's going to finish in the money, you're really, really, really set on that horse, and you want to put him with some others, do a key box. You can do that for an exacta, a try, or a superfecta, Joe.
All right, let's take us out the door.
Let's take it out the door. But get a little enthusiasm. I hadn't talked to you in a while, and you got to get enthused there. I don't know what's going on today, but it's got to be good with the Hogs playing tonight, the sun shining out. Let's go out the door, winner in the nightcap in race number 9. Number 3, Tim, T-I-M-S, number 3 in race 9 today, trained by Steve Asmussen. He's got his son riding this one, Keith Asmussen, 4-1 on the morning line. That's a $10 horse, a real nice price. Got beat by 13 lengths last time, ran 7th, but they're dropping this horse from, it was running way above his head last time, $30,000 claimer, dropping down to 15, so it'll be a much easier spot for this one. Exacta trifecta boxes 372 and 379. If you want to try that key box wager that I talked about a minute ago, key box the 3 with a 7294. Tell them you want a trifecta key box with a 3 with a 7294 in the nightcap at Oaklawn. And I'll be back talking to you guys right here on Out of Bounds tomorrow. About 1:30, 1:40, whenever you got a spot for me, I'll be calling you tomorrow, Joe.
All right, we're looking forward to it, Mark. We'll definitely talk to you tomorrow. Good luck on the picks today, and we look forward to hearing from you tomorrow.
All right, great. Go Hogs!
It's Mark the Magician giving us some horse racing picks. We're going to be back here on Out of Bounds. More from TruService Credit Union Studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce. Stay tuned.
With living in luxury at Southland Casino Hotel, the good life is closer than you think. Members get one entry with every 100 points earned playing on their Lucky North Rewards card, plus one free entry daily. Win free play at our hourly drawings and don't miss our Saturday grand prize drawings in March. You could win a home theater package, premium massage chair, outdoor jacuzzi, and $250,000 cash. Luxurious prizes await at Southland. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Progressive knows that for business owners, vacations hit different. But hey, at least you finally took a vacation. And look at that. You only answered 53 calls, 84 emails, onboarded one new hire, and covered for Chris while he's out on paternity leave, and you did it all from a kayak. Because you, my friend, know how to relax. All right, you may not know how to take a day off, but you do know both your personal and business auto insurance needs can be covered in one place with Progressive. So at least that's relaxing, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
It's the big Bass Boat Sale on all Ranger and Tracker boats at the Open House Sale. Now at Bradford Marine and ATV at all 7 statewide locations. Get the last of the boat show deals on all Ranger fiberglass bass boats with over $10,000 in extra discounts. Or the Sun Tracker Party Barge 22XP3 or Fishing Barge 22XP3 with $5,000 in discounts and a $1,000 Bass Pro gift card. Buy today, finance today, and have fun today at the Open House Sale going on at all Bradford Marine and ATV statewide locations. Your Ranger Tracker dealer.
When the unthinkable happens to your home or business, whether it's damage from smoke, water, fire, or mold, let Rainbow Restoration make you whole again. Their extensively trained team, state-of-the-art equipment, and 24/7 rapid response will help get your life back on track fast. Because this isn't just their service area, it's their home. When you need them, find them at ArkansasRestorationExperts.com. Rainbow Restoration, where they restore, you recover. Services performed by an independently owned and operated franchise. Gear up for spring with the Pro Sales event at Cabot Outdoors in Cabot. 20% off Hustler commercial mowers. From the X1 and X Rides, Surfer X, Trim Star through Hustler's Super Z. Cabot Outdoors has you covered so you can cover more ground. Not only can you save 20% at Cabot Outdoors, but they'll take care of you for years to come with their excellent service department. Shop now and save with Hustler and Cabot Outdoors. 901 South Pine Cabot or CabotOutdoors.com.
FanDuel, in partnership with Oaklawn Sports, is now available in Arkansas. With FanDuel, you can get in on college hoops action any night of the week. Because Oaklawn Sports, powered by FanDuel, has all your favorite college basketball bets from points to rebounds to which team you think is going to win. Plus, you can even combine your bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. And for a limited time, new Arkansas customers get started with $300 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. So just visit FanDuel.com/Arkansas to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/Arkansas to get started with $300 in bonus bets when you place your first $5 bet. Play your game with FanDuel, now available in Arkansas. Arkansas. 21 plus and present in Arkansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued at non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Out of bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds, live from TruService Federal Credit Union Studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce. Arkansas, Arizona tonight, 8:45. We're all looking forward to that game. And on Bet Saracen, the latest line, and it's changed in the last 5 minutes. Latest line is Arizona by 8.5 over Arkansas. 165 over under, and Arkansas money line plus 325.
So they're expecting some points.
Yeah, and you get great odds if you feel like Arkansas is just going to win the game outright. Plus 325 on that money line.
Yeah, that is a solid bet.
And saying it just changed in the last 5 minutes, it's 8.5 now. 5 minutes ago, it was 8. So it's kind of bouncing back and forth. It's going in between 7.5 to 8.5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it stayed that way pretty well all week.
And whatever you prefer as a wagerer, of course, you would like more points. But right now would be the chance to get on there and get more points when you're getting at 8.5, because you never know when it may drop down to 8 or 7.5 once again. But that's kind of the range it's been in, 7.5 to 8.5. Going to our Middleton Heat and Air text line, a couple of comments there. Talking to Trey, we were talking about the possibilities of Arkansas, Texas playing in that regional final for a chance to go to Final Four. It'd be an Elite Eight game. This texter says that Arkansas, Texas in 1990 was regional final. So just going back to some of those glory days, Arkansas making Final Fours.
Yeah, Trey
he
was
said they
pretty
had to
sure it had been a regional final, so
yeah, he
always
said,
good to have confirmed what you suspect.
Said they had to beat Texas on the way to get into that Final Four then. Another message here. Let's see. It says, main battle tonight will be above the rim. Who are the X factors and unsung heroes for both teams? Ready? Go. Now, of course, for Arkansas, and Darius Acuff has talked about this quite a bit. He's done it. Some of his post-game interviews, he's talked about Trevin Brazile. Trevin Brazile, his athleticism, playing above the rim. Billy Richmond playing above the rim, getting up and down the court, playing both ends of the court. Those are a couple of guys that could be X factors. And you have a lot of capable guys there from Arkansas when you think about Malik Thomas, those mentioned before, Billy Richmond, Trevin Brazile, Malik Ewing has been playing a lot better. These are guys that they're really depending on. And then, of course, Acuff, who's been the best player and really consistent as the season has gone on. SEC Player of the Year, SEC Freshman of the Year. So it just shows the caliber of basketball he's played all year.
I'm also interested to see what 80% of Nick Pringle looks like.
Probably mostly on the defensive end, but maybe he can give you something above the rim. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, that would be gravy, I would think, at this point. Maybe not anticipated or expected, but if you can get it, great.
TP says, only way Hogs win that they can win, limit easy fast break points and layups. And he says, which I haven't seen all year. But then he even gives a stat line. Brazile, 20 points. Wagner, 12. Ewing, 12. Billy, 15. Sealy, 6. Pringle, 4. And Acuff leading the charge with 25. Now, it's a possibility they can get close to those numbers. All those guys are capable of getting there. But, I mean, you could see a variation in that, and they could win the game. And TP, don't see anything from Thomas. Thomas is going to be heavily involved in this game also.
Yeah, but to either the point of that texter or the one before that, not only is it going to be limiting offensive rebounds for Arizona, but you do that by doing two things, making shots and getting your own offensive rebounds. So I think that's going to be, for Arkansas, especially when you talk about the length of a Trevin Brazile or even a Malik Thomas or a Billy Richmond, they've got to get in there and at least, they may not be able to necessarily dominate inside, but they've got to at least hold their own inside and do their best to not only grab their own rebounds, but to make sure that, they can somewhat keep Arizona off that defensive glass.
So, also they were asking about who would be key for Arizona. Jaden Bradley, he's going to be key because you can look at any box score, any stat line for Arizona. He's heavily involved.
Yep.
And Koa Pete would be somebody else to look for. They have a number of bigs on the inside. They're big. They have 7'2", 6'11", another 6'11", like across the board in that front court. They're really big, and then they're versatile with Toby Awaka, and he's 6'8", and they have a lot of size with 6'8", 6'7", and the wings. They're complete.
They're a number one seed and only have 2 losses on the season for a reason.
They played well all year, and even in the games that they lost, they played well in those games. They just came up short. You don't expect teams to go through an entire season and they're undefeated. And they have a stacked roster. They have Bryce James, may have heard of him. LeBron James' son, 6'5" freshman. He doesn't play a lot, but he's somebody that's on that bench and capable. So they have a lot to work with. They don't really go deep into their rotation either. They may go about 8 deep or so. But as you mentioned, Todd, number one seed for a reason. Been one of the best teams in college basketball this year. We're going to have your Razor Hog update on the other side. Hour 2, we're going to hear from Coach Cal and Coach Tommy Lloyd of Arizona, along with some players from Arkansas and Arizona. It's Out of Bounds. Stay tuned.
BetSaracen Sports Wager app. Download it today from the app stores or go to BetSaracen.com. BetSaracen is Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
I'm Alan LeVar. For 25 years, my team and I have helped injury victims across Arkansas. This is our home. We don't work for insurance companies. We work for you. Car crash, truck wreck, motorcycle collision. We know how to win. And if you can't come to us, we'll come to you. Your consultation is always free and confidential. Hurt in the car? Call LeVar. Arkansas strong for 25 years and ready when you need us. LeVar Law. Arkansas built, Arkansas trusted.
Experience the unmistakable difference today at D3 Auto Sales in Des Arc. D3 Auto Sales is your home for quality used trucks, SUVs, and cars from all the top brands, specializing in unique custom lifted and leveled used trucks, including 4-wheel drives. And this commitment to excellence extends to their full-service 10-bay service department as well. Also looking to trade in or sell your vehicle? D3 Auto always pays top dollar for your pre-owned vehicle. D3Autosales.com.
We are just a bunch of guys having fun. Just one has exceptional hair.
Yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less. 103.7 The Buzz, KABZ, Little Rock.
Eight people, including a member of the Quorum Court, face election fraud charges out in Phillips County. Arkansas Attorney General Tim Griffin says the group illegally influenced a 2024 primary runoff for a Justice of the Peace seat. Griffin says 62-year-old Lita Moore Johnson told voters to change their addresses to register to vote in order to vote in her runoff. 7 people are accused of going along with the plan in order to vote in the runoff. Johnson won the race and currently holds the position. All of them are charged with perjury, and Johnson is charged with solicitation to commit perjury. All of these are felony charges. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm Kara Case, Jessica Rockwell.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center.
Lots of sunshine for Thursday and temperatures in the upper 80s for highs with a warm southwesterly wind that will be breezy. We could see wind gusts in excess of 30 miles an hour. High wildfire danger is expected for Thursday, so practice your wildfire safety precautions. Overnight, we see temperatures drop into the low 60s. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm Arkansas Storm Team Meteorologist Jenna Warner.
Are you hungry? Something new, $25, all you can eat, sushi rolls, soup, salad, Benihana rice. Come at Benihana's Monday through Thursday.
Listen each Friday during Drive Time Sports for the basketball insider in Arkansas. It's Bart Reed, made possible by Martin Orthopedics, with locations in Little Rock, North Little Rock, Cabot, and Hot Springs Village. Staffed with fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons and sports medicine specialists. For more information on the web, go to martinortho.care.
Hawks Homes is Arkansas's #1 dealer. They have more inventory than anyone in Arkansas. Been in business for 40 years. Hawks offers custom-built manufactured and modular homes, 1 to 5 bedroom homes that can be built to accommodate all your needs, and right now use your tax return as a down payment. If you don't have land to place your home, we can help you find it and finance it all in one loan. If you need help with utilities or dirt work, we can help with that as well. See Hawks Homes online at hawkshomes.net.
Pat Bradley joins Randy and Rick on Drive Time Sports each week, courtesy of Razorback Camper Sales in Hot Springs. Celebrating 57 years in business, offering all new travel trailers, fifth wheels, and pop-ups at RV show prices. Explore their inventory in person or online at razorbackcampersales.com. Randy, Rick, and the Shooter on 103.7 The Buzz.
We got the big deals, the big
It's the declaration of deals at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram in Benton. This is Terry Harrison, and I've got Big Steve Landers here with me.
Over the years, I've seen a lot of sales events, but this is a big one.
Ram 2500 trucks are $14,000 off, and the 1500 series starts at just $37,995. So come see us at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram on Alcoa Road in Benton.
The Big Lock Benton.
Arkansas, your moment has arrived. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of Southland Casino, is officially live in your state. Now you can make every matchup even more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, player props, and more, all from your phone. It's safe, secure, and easy to use. And to get things started, new Arkansas customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. No waiting, just non-stop action. Powered by America's top-rated sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 1037TheBuzz. New Arkansas customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 1037TheBuzz. The crown is yours. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of Southland Casino. Gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-522-4700. 21 and over. Arkansas only. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
In Radio Extra Point with Ian Fitzsimmons.
Every athletic director, all of them, when you have an established head coach, you still have that list just in case. Just in case all of a sudden it's, hey, I'm done. It just hit me. I don't want to coach anymore. I want to go be with my family. You better have that damn list, right? Or something awful happens. Riding dirty at Arkansas with Bobby Petrino, right? You better have that list. So they all do, and those are the extremes, right? This is when you fire a coach, and it's UNC royalty like Hubert Davis. That list better be damn impressive, and I can promise you the phone calls have already been made to number 1, number 2, and number 3.
Pro Savings Days. Save more on what goes into the job. Add power to your lineup with a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5 amp hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt 20-volt max tool. Plus, get up to 35% off select major appliances from Whirlpool, Maytag, and more. Get the job done right. Keep more in your pocket. That's Pro Savings Days. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 3/27. Selection varies by location. While supplies last.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old.
She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds, live from TruService Credit Union Studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce. It's game day, Todd. Arkansas, Arizona tonight, 8:45, and we're going to give you your Razor Hog update. We're going to hear from Coach Cal, Coach Lloyd, a few Razorbacks players, few Arizona players. We're going to start here with Coach Cal. Coach Cal on what he's hearing and what others are saying about Arkansas.
The joy I get from what I do is when someone said, I knew Darius Acuff was good, but I never realized he was this good. I knew Malik Thomas was good, but I never knew he was this good. I knew Trevin Brazile had this in him, but I had not seen it, and now, wow. Billy Goat, 2 different cities, said, we watched him and he was good. He's never been this good. Seeing DJ, having people call me and say he's impacting winning for your team as much as anyone on it. Having all that, seeing Malik Ewan do stuff that he has never done, effort, energy, scoring double-doubles in real games, nothing makes me happier. But winning is the next phase of that. And if you get them all right, they will want to win to keep playing. And that's why I always say it's about the name on the back, not the name on the front.
So he went through a few players there and kind of what he's hearing from the outside on certain players. He also had a lot to say about Darius Acuff and some of the differences he's seen.
Well, and the thing of it is, I mean, yes, he's doing it this year with those guys, but he's done it consistently in the past with, I mean, you just take a look at the roster of players he's got in the NBA right now and those who have been in the league. So it's a testament to him and his style of coaching that he's able to produce for the most part, year after year after year. You're going to have a down year every once in a while. This one hasn't been one of them.
Let's hear Coach Cal on Darius Acuff.
Hey, Coach. Nathan Cannell from the Bay Area News Group. Just curious what the biggest growth you've seen out of Darius Acuff from the first time you saw him get into this program to now.
Maturity, leadership skills, body language. Woo! It screams now. Your body language screams. His really screamed. Now you look at him now, he's like all the best players that I've coached. He's like that. You never really see him. The only time he gets mad is when I really get on him. I had a meeting in my office, and I said, I'm telling you, my entire career, I'm hardest on my best players. Because if I can coach them hard, I can coach everyone on my team hard. He said, I got it, I'm good. And he wasn't great, but he said he was good. And I've been hard on him. There are times that I'm pointing him out in front of this team in areas that he's got to get better and improve. But you know, he has improved. What I did not know was his will to win. You got to coach a guy. You know the skill stuff. I knew he could score. People, well, you can't play Malik Thomas and him. They'll never play together. Come on, man. I've done this 30 years, maybe a little bit longer. But I've had two players like them, John Wall, Eric Bledsoe. If you want me to keep going, I'll start naming names, that had to play together. And you know what? Eric Bledsoe and John Wall are close as any two players that I've coached. These two are the same. And they got to hear stuff. Oh, you should shoot more. He should shoot more. They don't listen to it. They lock in and they care about one another. They know if they cheer for each other. If one of them gets it going, the other's happy as heck.
So that they're just talking about how it's been with teams in the past where he gets these guys to buy in and they're all happy for each other because individual success leads to team success, and that's only going to make you better in the end.
And like you say, if you want to become better as an individual, you there's got to be a team aspect to it. You can't do it all yourself. So if you're a scorer, where are your deficiencies? Likely, maybe you need help with passing the ball or blocking out on rebounds. I mean, there's always something to improve on, and that's where Coach Calipari is talking about the buy-in aspect. Everyone's willing to do their part. Yes, they have their own strengths, but the whole is better than the sum of its parts.
Here's Coach Cal also talking about a little about Arizona.
This is one of those games, folks, where we do some things a little better than them. They do some things a little better than us. Tommy's done a great job with this team. They play to their strengths just like we do. They shoot about the same amount of free throws per game as we do. They do it different. They pound it big, we slash, but it's the same. They make one free throw, 1.2 or 3, more than we make per game. So my thought is, if they let it go and we're both beating each other, I'm fine with that. And if you want to call a lot of fouls, they're going to be called both ways because we play the same way. So my guess is at the end, there'll be the same amount of fouls, near the same amount of free throws on both teams because they do it one way, we do it another. But the final result has been the same. That's what makes this an interesting game. Can we do better at what we do as they do better at what it's kind of like the same thing. It's their will against our will and who's going to hold out the longest. And that's why I need a couple more guys playing.
That'll be very important, key to the cause. Got Nick Pringle returning to the lineup. And then Isaiah Seeley. He's somebody else that has been available for a couple of games. Has been limited action. But here's Coach Cal and talking about Isaiah Seeley.
We got to try to play more than 5 guys. And Malik Seeley, I'll make a statement. Within the next year or two, you're going to say, where did this kid come from? Bouncy, his reactions to stuff, his natural instincts. He just needs more time. He needs to be coached. He needs to be more focused. He needs to create better habits. But that's all young kids. But I've loved coaching him. And the times he's had to play, my coaching friends have said, I love that kid. But he's, this will be a hard one, but I'm not going to be afraid to put him in. And I told him, I woke up one morning and it was like, play Isaiah. And when I have those gut feelings, that's stuff that I do. So plan is to play him.
The plan is to play him. So we'll see how that plan goes. And it's all depending upon game flow and how the game is going. If anybody gets into foul trouble, if anybody is playing really well that you can't take off the court, but you see other players that you need to get rest at times, it's all dependent upon game flow.
That's true. And what you're looking for, especially when it comes to Seeley, I mean, he's had his struggles and he's had them on the floor at various points in the year. So you want to see some cohesion from him. And if you can get some cohesion from him, like you say, if the game's flowing the right way, maybe he becomes a little bit of a scorer, or he finds another niche where he's, being of some not necessarily. I mean, he's got value. Being on the floor, he's got value of some sort. But there may be something that he's able to affect something more than others, and that's where he makes his impact.
Yeah, for basketball, that's important because it's not just about scoring. It's about having an effect on the game. And that's what, as he mentioned, as a young player, sometimes young players have to learn that simply because where they played before, whether it was high school, whether it was an AAU or summer circuit, they may have been the guy the whole
scorer,
time.
Yeah.
And so now you have to find a niche and get in different roles to make that team complete. And he could be one of those players like Coach Kyle was just talking about that right now you see potential there. He could become the guy that is the focus at some point, but it's just not right now.
Well, and if he does become that guy at some point, what he's able to learn now and what he's able to apply now will just be able to help his overall game, because there may be games in the future where he might be the guy and for whatever reason he's not able to score or he gets in foul trouble. How else does he affect the game? He can be a facilitator. He can be a rebounder. He can be a decoy. I mean, there are other ways, like, you have said, to affect a game. It doesn't always have to be scoring, even if you are the guy.
Let's hear from Billy Richmond and his thoughts on the game tonight.
I mean, my role is to do the little things for my teammates. I know I ain't the best in scoring, facilitating, but, I mean, I play my part from here and there, and just starting to open a whole new level up for my game and just get my teammates involved. That's what I try to do. And just the name, I mean, it's a cool name. Coach Cal came up with it, so I'll be saying, like, bye, little Billy Goat.
And just what we were talking about right there, Billy Richmond, he summed it all up in being in that role and finding his place.
Yeah, I mean, the prime example of, figuring out a way to affect a game without, scoring the basketball, like, rebounding or assists or creating turnovers, or, he's willing to do whatever it takes. It doesn't matter if they show up on the stat sheet or not. He's going to try to do his best to do whatever he can to help the Razorbacks win a game no matter what.
I think Billy is not giving himself enough credit, but a lot of players and athletes do that. They don't want the focus to be on them, but Billy, he's shown that he can score. He's shown that he can get others involved. A lot of times it's others getting him involved, but he definitely has an effect on the game on the offensive and defensive end. So as far as him saying that he knows he's not the best scorer, he can score if he needs to.
He can be.
But at the same time, he realizes that Darius Acuff, Malik Thomas, Trevin Brazil, those are guys that are going to have more of that focus, and whatever he gets is probably a little icing, and especially if it's on that offensive end.
Yeah, I mean, again, a guy who is fully aware of what his role on this team is, and knowing that, yes, I can score if I need to, or if, there's an injury and I'm called upon to do it, I can do that. But what else can I do? Where else can I show up? And he does all those little things.
Thing about Billy, too, is if he gets a wide open shot, and all these players should have that same mindset, you get a wide open shot, you're taking a shot. You know that Billy is taking that shot if it's a wide open shot.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, he's got the shooter's mentality. That's not the problem. But again, it's just a situation where, he is fully aware that he's got those other guys in front of him who are called upon to be the scoring threats on the team. So if it means grabbing a rebound or getting a steal or making that extra pass, whatever it is he needs to do, he's going to do that, and that's how he affects the game.
Todd, we were speaking about Nick Pringle and his injury, and you mentioned that you want to see what that looks like if he's 80 to 85%. Here's Nick Pringle on his status.
I'd definitely say at least probably like 80, 85. I feel like I can go out there and contribute. Just really do anything for my team, honestly.
So you will play tomorrow?
Yes, sir. That's the plan. Yes, sir.
So everybody, it's the same message all the way around. Everyone is saying they want to do it takes and do their part to make sure this team comes away with a win.
And that's the very definition of a team. I mean, yes, you're going to have your guys who have the focus on them, but it's everyone doing their part, no matter how big or how small, and it all adds up in whatever it's going to be. Now, sometimes you fall short, sometimes you lose, but that's okay because you gave maximum effort. You did everything you could.
Now let's hear from the other side. Let's hear from Arizona's coach, Tommy Lloyd, and his thoughts on Arkansas.
They're putting up video game numbers on offense. And obviously they're electric in transition. They have ability to play up top, in lobs and, kind of the vertical spacing stuff as well as anybody. Obviously you got to really take care of the ball against them, to try to, force them to play in the half court. But, what they found in the half court is, Coach Cal's a vet. He knows how to get guys in the right spots and try to find the right matchups. And they got a guy right now that they're really comfortable putting the ball in his hands. And, he led the SEC in scoring and assists as a freshman. That's pretty impressive. So, they're definitely a tough out. And to me, when you see them pop up, I don't know, what are they, a 4 seed? Something like that. For a team to take second in the SEC and win the SEC tournament, be a 4 seed. Yeah, they probably got an argument there. But hey, let's throw the seeds out the window and let's get after it tomorrow.
All right, that was Arizona coach Tommy Lloyd on Arkansas, and here's Jaden Bradley and seeing Nick Pringle.
That's definitely my guy. I talk to him, here and there. I'm just excited to play against him. It's always, good going against somebody that, you spent a year with, practicing and battling with. So, excited for that, but, just ready to go at it with my guys.
All right, last from Arizona, we're going to hear from Toby Awaka on just his thoughts on Arizona.
I don't really think the past is a predictor of the future. I think we're just worried about, what's next up on our plate, which is Arkansas. So we're going to prepare to the best of our ability, follow the game plan, follow the scout, and, hopefully if we do what we do, we'll be successful.
It sounds like typical coach and player speak. We're getting a lot of it. And you can understand that because at this time, players, coaches, players more so, they're just wanting to go play basketball.
Exactly. And to their point, every game is different. Now, we can sit here and we can talk about this is going to happen or that's going to happen. Some of it might. Some of it might not. So the point, I forget who it was just a moment ago, saying that past results are not an indicator of future results. There is something to that. There's going to be something going on in this game tonight that one side or the other is not going to be able to predict, and it's going to be their ability to deal with it and find an effective solution for it that will determine the outcome of the game.
And Todd, the way that college sports have changed, you can't even rely on going back to last season,
right?
Because there's always so much roster turnover. And in basketball, you're dealing with a lot less numbers. So even if these teams matched up last year and you had 2 or 3 players, maybe 4 returning on each roster, you're going to have a number of new players. And so even going back to just as recently as last year, it doesn't have an effect on what happens this time. And even within a season, we've seen that. Conference rivals play each other. You could have a team that wins the first 2 games. They play a third time. When it matters and it's postseason, that other team wins, and the first 2 are forgotten about because that team won the game when it really mattered,
right,
in postseason when it's win or go home.
Well, and to your point, as far as going back to a game from, say, last year, it might be helpful as far as overall offensive or defensive concepts and they like to do, for example, a 2-3 zone in this situation, or they're going to isolate one guy on the wing in this situation. You can pick up tendencies and things like that, but to your point, as far as the roster turnover and everything, there's always going to be something new, some other new element with whatever game you're playing whenever you play it. So even like you say with roster turnover, in a case like tonight, you've got Nick Pringle. He hasn't played in a couple of 3 games. How effective is he going to be? Yeah, you can watch tape on him from earlier this year and try to maybe pick up on one thing here or there, but then coming back from injury, he may not be able to do something as well as you've seen on tape. He may be able to do something more effectively than what you've seen on tape. So again, it's all about moves, counter moves, dealing with them, and coming up with solutions to try to put your team in the best possible spot.
What'll be most valuable is he puts another body on the floor and he brings 5 more fouls to the table.
Exactly. And especially when you have a situation where Arizona has height over your length, having those extra fouls available may be handy in a situation like that. And maybe, I know Nick, his reputation before coming to Arkansas was he had a little physicality to him, so maybe he can mix it up inside with the 6'8" and the 7'2" guys on the inside for Arizona. And, if he draws a couple of fouls on either of those guys, great. If he picks up a couple himself, then he knows he needs to be careful.
Middleton Heat and Air text line, couple of comments here. Don't really care how they do it tonight, just win, baby. So, this person is saying win ugly, win pretty, outscore them by a lot of points, win by 1, doesn't matter, just come away with the win.
Rather take an ugly win than a pretty loss.
Oh, all day, all day. Here's another comment. Just took a look at our common opponent, Michigan State, and says that Arkansas lost, Arizona won, and let's see, can't win. We just have to go play confident and play our game. That's it.
Well, certainly confidence will have a lot to do with it. It'll certainly, get you in the mind frame, at least at the start, that, hey, we're as prepared as we can go. And, then it's all about applying what you've learned over the course of the last couple of days. So, it may be like, again, with a situation like that, you can maybe pick up tendencies or, okay, well, Michigan State was able to do this, we can do something similar, or Arkansas was able to do this, we can use this like we did against Michigan State. So, yeah, it's all about, the bag of tricks and what you're able to do. And so, you pick up a thing here or two maybe, but ultimately it comes down to, the 5 guys on the floor at 8:45 tonight and what they can do.
One last comment here. Jalen Williams he found his niche, and his niche was taking charges. So that just goes to the team concept of finding who you are on a team, and he's there commenting about Jalen Williams.
Finding your identity and sticking to it, yeah.
Okay, actually there is one more. DB in Pine Bluff, do you think Ewing is on a roll right now? We should start him over Pringle. Probably so.
Especially with Pringle coming off that hamstring injury. I would say that's probably more likely than not.
Yeah, and that's the most likely deal is going into the game. He will start as far as Malik Ewing. We're going to take a break here on Out of Bounds. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce. On the other side, we're going to talk to PB, Pat Bradley. He's going to join us and give his thoughts on Arkansas, Arizona, and NCAA tournament play. Stay tuned. More of Out of Bounds coming up.
What's on tap? Brought to you by Flyway Brewing. It's always open season at Flyway Brewing, serving 2 Central Arkansas locations, North Little Rock, and now open in Breckenridge Village. Check out current promotions at flywaybrewing.com. Flyway Brewing. Follow the migration. We encourage you to wet your beak responsibly.
This is Sports Center.
The Razorbacks take on the Arizona Wildcats in the Sweet 16 tonight at San Jose. The game will be at 8:45 on CBS. This is the 9th time overall that the Razorbacks and Wildcats have faced off on the hardwood. The first meeting between the two schools dates back to 1949, when the Razorbacks beat the Wildcats 65-44 in Dallas, Texas during the NCAA District 6 playoffs. The most recent meeting between the two schools was in November of 1995, when the Wildcats beat the Razorbacks 83-73 in Fayetteville for the preseason season NIT. The first game of the Sweet 16 is tonight at 6:10 on CBS as Texas takes on Purdue. On TBS and True TV at 6:30, Iowa takes on Nebraska. And after the Arkansas-Arizona game, Illinois takes on Houston at 9:05 on TBS and True TV. I'm Trip Keeter for the Buzz Radio Network.
Carson Brumbaugh joins the Zone each week courtesy of Pinnacle Parties, bounce houses, tents, tables, and everything in between. Take your party to the Pinnacle. Find them online at pinnacleparties.com.
It's the big bass boat sale on all Ranger and Tracker boats at the open house sale. Now at Bradford Marine and ATV at all 7 statewide locations. Get the last of the boat show deals on all Ranger fiberglass bass boats with over $10,000 in extra discounts. Or the Sun Tracker Party Barge 22XP3 or Fishing Barge 22XP3 with $5,000 in discounts and a $1,000 Bass Pro gift card. Buy today, finance today, and have fun today at the open house sale going on at all Bradford Marine and ATV statewide locations. Your Ranger Tracker dealer.
FanDuel, in partnership with Oaklawn Sports, is now available in Arkansas. With FanDuel, you can get in on college hoops action any night of the week because Oaklawn Sports, powered by FanDuel, has all your favorite college basketball bets from points to rebounds to which team you think is going to win. Plus, you can even combine your bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. And for a limited time, new Arkansas customers get started with $300 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. So just visit FanDuel.com/Arkansas to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/Arkansas to get started with $300 in bonus bets when you place your first $5 bet. Play your game with FanDuel, now available in Arkansas. 21 plus and present in Arkansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you think CertaPro Painters, you probably think interior and exterior painting for homes and commercial properties, which we do beautifully. But did you know that we're more than just paint? CertaPro also provides expert carpentry, sheetrock repairs, deck and fence staining, and durable garage and patio concrete coatings. Whether you're refreshing your home, upgrading a commercial space, or restoring outdoor areas, we deliver professional results with the quality and service you expect. Call CertaPro Painters today or schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters, that's certainty.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter agents Richard Yeager, Steve Ferguson, or Jason Daly in Little Rock today.
We got the big deals at the Big Rock. The Big Rock.
It's the declaration of deals at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram in Benton. We're going to take $11,000 off Grand Cherokees, and we've got the new Compass starting at just $27,995.
Terry, it's Wrangler season. Tell them what we're going to do about those.
This year, Jeep has reduced their factory-based price by thousands. So we're starting new Jeep Wranglers at $34,999. So come see us at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram in Benton.
The Big Rock Benton.
Out of bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union studios. TruService Credit Union. Membership has its rewards with low-rate auto loans, competitive mortgages, and one of the lowest interest rate credit cards in the nation. TruService Credit Union. Online at TruService.net.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Wes Moore, enjoying a day off today. We go to D3 Auto Sales Hotline now and hear from PB, Pat Bradley. What's up, PB?
Hey, Joe. And Todd, how you guys doing?
Man, doing great. Ready for this game tonight. We've been talking it up past few days, all week, and now it's game day. It's finally here.
Yes, it is. And Arizona is about as good as everybody's been saying. And their size, they've got shot makers, tough shot makers. They protect the rim. They don't shoot a lot of threes, but they just abuse the rim. And They've got good size at every position. So this one's going to be, you talk about having to play mistake-free basketball, and they're going to have to make some threes. In terms of a high volume, probably. They shoot a good percentage, the Hogs, but they're not going to get a lot at the rim. That's going to be a big challenge.
PB, the best thing about not shooting a lot of threes as far as Arizona goes, that means they can't make a lot of threes. If Arkansas,
right.
if they do their scout and they play the game that Arizona's played pretty much all year, and they don't shoot a lot of threes, they're able to limit those. Then they can't make threes if they're not shooting them. So that's the best part of it.
Exactly, and so knowing that, the biggest challenge is, you start to bring in foul trouble, right? If they're primarily going to try to play at the rim. You think about with Pringle, with Ewan, Brazil, and that's another challenge. You're going to have to. You're not going to go throughout the whole game. There's going to be a lot of fouls, but you have to find a way to play without fouling, because that's the other thing they do is they put so much pressure on you that you get teams, the opponents, to get in foul trouble, and that's one thing we can't afford to be any more shorthanded in a sense than we already are. Although I guess really Carter Knox is a guy that has size that I don't know. I'm hearing. I don't know if he's coming to play tonight. I know people have been swirling that around, but we'll just have to see.
Coach Cal had a comment about the free throws and opportunities there, and the way he was looking at it. And, of course, he's looking at analytics and looking at the stats, the way that it's played out all season. He said that when you look at it and break it down, Arkansas, Arizona, they shoot about the same amount of free throws. So that's the type of game that he's expecting. But he's expecting it to be on both sides where you're going to see a typical game from both teams where they both shoot a lot of free throws. He said, but if they just let them play, he's comfortable with that also.
Yeah. Well, I think the Hogs are at their best when they're getting out in transition and they're attacking the paint. And, the Hogs aren't a high volume three-point shooting team because they don't have to. But they can get out there and make 10. They can get out there and make 11. They get good enough shooters to do that. But their strength is attacking the rim and getting to the free throw line as a result of that. Arizona's the top 3 defensive team in the country because they've got the personnel that is designed to keep teams out of the paint. They're just not easy to score on. So if you can get out in transition and beat them up the floor a few times, get some possessions, you make or miss, you just beat them up the floor with your speed. That's a couple ways. So now, you do a few things to sort of turn some possessions in your favor, and that could be one of them. But you're not going to back down. These guys, we got guys that played a lot of college basketball. They played against players in Arizona, they're all league-type players. Just Arizona's put together a pretty unique group at every position. They can hurt you.
So Nick Pringle has said he's going to be about 80 or 85% going to give it a go tonight. Pat, what would be a reasonable expectation in your mind as far as what we can get out of him on the floor tonight?
On Carter Knox?
Nick Pringle.
Oh, Pringle. Did you say Pringle? Well, he's got to be physical. He's going to be challenged because they get a good big man, Cole Pete, right? That big freshman. They got two Crevis. So, and they've got arguably one of the best offensive rebounders in the entire country. In kid 6'8" Toby Awaka. I mean, I think he's number one in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. So he is going to be a load, and it's just his mindset's going to have to be physical and don't get cheap fouls. Like, you're going to get foul called, but not the cheap ones, right? Like leaning in and swiping at the ball and things like that. So that's where the smart play is going to have to come from him.
PB, you mentioned transition game. That's going to be Arkansas' strength, not only in this game, but just in general in the way they play. But to get Arizona in foul trouble, are they going to have to attack the rim with those guards?
Yeah, and I think, that's – you look at, the type of guys that we're talking about. Billy Richmond, he's going to attack anybody. That's his strength, right? He doesn't have to get away from his strengths. We need him to do that. Brazil, he still has to be aggressive attacking the rim. That's what he does on the glass. So, we still got to play to our strengths. And, a lot of that is getting in the paint and causing issues and getting out, just sprinting. Defensive rebound, everybody sprint. Miss shot, anything, sprint. We're out there. And try and get a few extra possessions.
What are your thoughts on NCAA tournament as a whole, what you've seen so far? Get to the Sweet 16.
I think it's been really good. I think that I guess you can't really point to any upsets. Certainly not. When you look at the teams that are in the Sweet 16 right now, we got one first four team, but that's Texas, and Texas is by no means they're a talented team. 1 through 4. So I think it's been a fun tournament. With, I guess, High Point was probably the biggest win of the tournament when they beat Wisconsin, right? 12-5, I guess if you would say that.
Yeah, and that happened
certainly
first day.
Yeah.
Can we get you on the Nebraska bandwagon, Pat?
Nebraska bandwagon. Hey, they're having the greatest season in their history. How about that?
Yep.
Todd, you got to be pumped about that. The greatest season in their history. That is another highlight for the tournament. Is what Nebraska is doing.
Yeah, that shot against Vanderbilt, that last second shot did everything but go in. I felt bad for the Vandy kid, but not too much.
Yeah. Hey, Nebraska's. It's not like they're a surprise, right? They've been good all season long, so they deserve to be right where they're at.
PB, are you telling me this Nebraska team is better? You said best season they've ever had than when Ty Lue was there playing point guard at the time. I think he kind of put them on the map. I think.
Yeah, he did, and we played them in the first round.
Yeah, that was the '98 tournament. Yep.
Yeah, we knocked them out. So having them break, because you can have great seasons, regular seasons, but the way we view college basketball now, you're almost measured, unfortunately, by your tournament success. So, it is what it is, and Nebraska's had good seasons. It's just the ability to break through and win a couple of games in the tournament. It is really, what people focus in on.
And to your point there, PB, we've seen teams that haven't had good regular seasons, but then had tournament success, and that is the way that they're remembered, the lasting image, how far they got in the tournament. We've seen it all around college basketball. We've seen it at Arkansas specifically.
Yeah, we have. There's a couple of years when I want to say maybe it was Muss's first year when they get to the Elite Eight, right? I mean, it was. I don't think anybody had them penned to go. Maybe a couple folks, but penned in to go. Would it be Kansas? I think that year, number 1 seed, possibly if that's what it was. So, yeah, you remember those seasons. That's the good thing about the tournament is you just got to keep winning, and you see all the great stories. A team is a mediocre team. And think about the teams that go from the first four, like the bubble teams, right? Like Texas didn't know that they were going to be playing in the tournament until Selection Sunday. They were so, they finished. They lost their last game to Oklahoma, obviously losing the SEC tournament. So they're not exactly like feeling the best about themselves. What happens? They get in the tournament, win a couple of games, and now look at the kind of season how we're talking about it. So
yeah,
tournament can do that even if you're not having a great regular season.
PB, give us a breakdown on remaining SEC teams. Let's start with Texas versus Purdue. You don't have to do a scout on the game or the matchup as a whole, but just give us some insight on Texas.
Well, Texas is good. They've got a big 7-footer who's been playing really well, and he's an old school sort of traditional guy. Plays his back to the basket, and he's just a physical beast. So he's a lot to handle with, and if he can get it rolling, they're a different team. And they've got 3 other guys that are really just the playmakers, really. And so that's what makes them so difficult, because they got guys that just can get out and make tough shots. They got the big guy in the middle. And if those key guys can get it rolling, they can, I'm not going to say they can beat anybody, but there's only a few teams, when they're rolling, there's only a few teams that can beat them.
Alabama plays against Michigan. How about Alabama?
Well, the one thing we know, Alabama is going to put up 85 points. They're going to just, because they just make a miss, they get the ball off the floor in 3 seconds. They look for a good shot. If they don't have that shot, then they'll run their offense. And they've just got skilled players. They're just skilled players. They can dribble, they can shoot, and it's not like they got every time they have 5 guys on the floor that knock down a 3 and can get by you on the lane. But defensively, they're not very big in the post, and they got to deal with that big Michigan kid. I don't know what they're going to do with him. But Bama's going to score. There's no doubt about it. They're going to push the ball and find a way to get 80, 85.
How do you feel about their big? I can't remember his name, but number 22. He had a really good game against Arkansas. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Aiden Sherrill, I think.
Yes.
And he's improved, man. He can get you 2-3 blocks a game. He can step up and shoot the 3, 6'11". But outside of him, there's not really anybody they have that's going to score around the rim, right? He can catch lobs. But he's a tough matchup, too, because he will shoot threes and he will make them.
Wow, that's interesting. Didn't really see that from him because he didn't have to against Arkansas. He was banging on that inside. But that makes for
exactly.
a complete player if he can step out and shoot that 3. But we see so many bigs in basketball now. That's how the game is played.
Yeah, and Nate Oates, he encourages guys to shoot it. They don't have to, but he encourages that.
That's a great way to, and you know what? That's a recruiting tool that will draw players in. Players want to go play for coaches like that.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. Coach Oates just, brings in guys that are already skilled, and he does a good job at his staff. They do a good job of, in the summertime, continuing to improve their ball skills. Like I said, they can all handle it, get by you, and they can all shoot it. They spend hours in the gym. They don't just get there and all of a sudden this happens. They put in that work.
Last team we want to look at here, Tennessee plays Iowa State.
Yeah, with Tennessee, it seems like because defensively they're already, they're one of the better teams, and Iowa State is as good defensively as you're going to get. So Tennessee, when they struggle, it's on the offensive end, and they've got two legit scores, and the one of them, freshman kid, kind of struggled the last two games. He's going to have to show up big and give them some offensive punch.
PB, really appreciate you, man. It's always great.
You're doing tough.
Yeah, always great catching up and talking to you.
Soon, boys.
All right, take care. Enjoy that game tonight.
Sir.
It's Pat Bradley joining us on D3 Auto Sales text line here on Out of Bounds. We'll be back with more, finish up this hour, and get it set for hour 3. It's Out of Bounds. Stay tuned.
Luxury Pool and Spa in Conway and Russell is your headquarters for pool and spa chemicals. Luxury Pool and Spa is ready to get your pool balanced and swim ready with Pool Life and Baquasil Pool Chemicals. Luxury Pool and Spa is also a proud dealer of Polywood Outdoor Furniture, climate-tough materials, color-stay technology, and the 20-year warranty. If you're thinking about a hot tub, they have the amazing Caldera hot tubs in stock on their showroom floor. Live the life of luxury with Luxury Pool and Spa. LuxuryPoolArkansas.com.
Experience the unmistakable difference today at D3 Auto Sales in Des Arc. D3 Auto Sales is your home for quality used trucks, SUVs, and cars from all the top brands, specializing in unique custom lifted and leveled used trucks, including 4-wheel drives. And this commitment to excellence extends to their full-service 10-bay service department as well. Also looking to trade in or sell your vehicle? D3 Auto always pays top dollar for your pre-owned vehicle. D3AutoSales.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Progressive knows that for business owners, vacations hit different. But hey, at least you finally took a vacation. And look at that. You only answered 53 calls, 84 emails, onboarded 1 new hire, and covered for Chris while he's out on paternity leave, and you did it all from a kayak. Because you, my friend, know how to relax. All right, you may not know how to take a day off, but you do know both your personal and business auto insurance needs can be covered in one place with Progressive. So at least that's relaxing, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 501-382-9100. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 501-382-9100. That's 501-382-9100.
Hi, it's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. Folks, if you're shopping for a new car or truck, I hope you'll come see us and give us a chance to earn your business. We have huge discounts, 0% financing available, and we'll give you $1,000 over Kelly Blue Book value for your trade-in. Folks, I guarantee you a hassle-free buying experience. And if you've had credit problems in the past, listen to this. We have an easy pre-approval process. Just go to FletcherCredit.com to get started. You can be pre-approved in minutes. It's really not hard. FletcherCredit.com. Folks, we're also still buying cars every day. If you got an old car or truck you want to turn into cash, Bring it to Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood and ask for Chris or Andy. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Shop in person or shop online at FletcherDeals.com. Thank you.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios. Online at TruService.net.
Every time you come around, you know I can't say no. Every time the sun goes down, I let you take control.
It's Out of Bounds. TruService Credit Union Studio. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce. Let's go to D3 or Middleton Heat and Air text line. Got some comments there. This is why Cal scheduled the early season games for these moments. Did put a tough schedule together. They were all tournament teams from last year, all Elite Eight teams from last year. And Cal is one of those coaches that he does like to play that more difficult schedule and live with the results, whether that's wins, losses. It gets you prepared for tournament play. It's almost like you're in tournament play to begin the season.
And that's the whole point of it, like you were saying, is to get you ready for moments like this, because I'm sure there'll be a time or two in the game tonight where they might hit a little bit of adversity. Cal calls a timeout and is like, guys, we've been through this before. Here's what we did. Here's what we do now, and go from there.
Comparing scores from early season doesn't matter. Not even game against Florida. This Arkansas team is much better, including Acuff is better because his ankle, as time has gone on, has gotten better, so he's gotten healthier. But also, he's a smart basketball player. So that was another comment that we had just about the growth of this team altogether.
The growth of the team and of the individual players. I mean, you take a look at the team that'll hit the floor tonight, and then you take a look at the team that started the season, and it's a night and day difference.
What are your thoughts on Billy Donovan returning to college? Don't really think that's happening. NBA experienced coach, dealing with high-paid athletes, egos, and now you have NIL and transfer portal. He said that, or they're saying that he would be well-equipped to deal with that, but you're kind of dealing with the same thing regardless, whether that's on maybe a higher scale because those players are making a lot more money, but it's the same. And I think that Billy Donovan is really comfortable where he is. Now, being his decision. If it's organization's decision, that's a different story. Stay tuned. Out of Bounds, Hour 3.
Arkansas, your moment has arrived. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of Southland Casino, is officially live in your state. Now you can make every matchup even more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, player props, and more, all from your phone. It's safe, secure, and easy to use. And to get things started, new Arkansas customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. No waiting, just non-stop action. Powered by America's top-rated sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 1037 The Buzz. New Arkansas customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 1037 The Buzz. The crown is yours. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of Southland Casino. Gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-522-4700. 21 and over. Arkansas only. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Serious injuries happen every day. If it happens to you, don't wait. Dial 8. Dial 8 for Rainwater, Holton, Sexton. 888-8888. Anywhere in the state, dial 8. We've got you covered, Arkansas. Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
This is your official sports and entertainment station, Central Arkansas. We are 1037 The Buzz. KABZ, Little Rock.
Prosecutors Prosecutors in the Devil's Den double homicide case are pushing back against the suspect's defense team. 28-year-old Andrew McGann is charged with 2 counts of capital murder for the deaths of a couple at the Arkansas State Park. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty, but McGann's attorney says the death penalty should be taken off the table, claiming it's a cruel and unusual punishment. They've also accused the Washington County prosecutor attorney of violating a judge's order when talking about the case in public. Prosecutors deny any violations. McGann is set for another pretrial hearing on April 1st. And flags will be flown at half-staff in remembrance of State Representative Stan Berry, who died Monday at the age of 71. He represented Arkansas House 44 and was serving his 7th term. Funeral services for Berry will be at First Baptist Church of Dover Friday morning at 10 a.m. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm Kara Case, Jessica Rockwell.
Mark your calendars for the 22nd Annual Double B's Buzzbarbecue coming Saturday, May 9th to the downtown Riverside RV Park in North Little Rock. Tickets on sale soon.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center.
Lots of sunshine for Thursday and temperatures in the upper 80s for highs with a warm southwesterly wind that will be breezy. We could see wind gusts in excess of 30 miles an hour. High wildfire danger is expected for Thursday, so practice your wildfire safety precautions. Overnight, we see temperatures drop into the low 60s. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm Arkansas Storm Team Meteorologist Jenna Warner.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Tune in every Friday morning to hear Danny West from hogsports.com on Morning Mayhem. Brought to you by HJ Trailer Sales. They've got truck beds and utility trailers for every type of job and a service facility for maintenance and repair. Local folks with great products. Visit them online at hjtrailersales.com or in person at 808 Albert Pike in Hot Springs.
Oaklawn is here for when you want non-stop racing and non-stop action. The season's back, the weekends are packed, and it's time to plan your visit. The classic racing season kicks off January 30th and runs through May 2nd with exciting weekends, great food and drinks, and the kind of atmosphere you can only find in Hot Springs. It's fast, it's lively, it's time to win. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshields, and slick roads quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter agents Nick Gennardi, Daniel Vickers, or Becky Bradley in Sherwood today.
On these acres, weekends aren't a break. When the ground fights back, the John Deere 4044M leans in. Because it's built like the people who run it. Tough enough to stay one more hour. Strong enough to finish the job. Take more than $7,000 off or pay $507 per month at 0% for 84 months at Greenway. Learn more at gogreenway.com. Some restrictions apply. See Greenway for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2026.
We got the big deals at the Big Rock. The Big Rock.
It's the declaration of deals at Chris Crane, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Benton. This is Terry Harrison, and I've got Big Steve Landers here with me.
Over the years, I've seen a lot of sales events, but this is a big one.
Ram 2500 trucks are $14,000 off, and the 1500 series starts at just $37,995. So come see us at Chris Crane, Dodge, Jeep, Ram on Alcoa Road in Benton.
The Big Rock Benton.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-921-8189. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-921-8189, 800-921-8189, 800-921-8189.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Stepping up. It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the
Live
ultimate
from the
fan experience.
TruService Credit
Level up
Union
for more
Studio.
on the ESPN app
This
or
is Out of Bounds
stream.espn.com.
with Wes Bourne and
Sign
Joe
up
Franklin
now.
on 103.7 The Buzz.
Parmesan with my accountant lips. In fact, I'm down in this. You say with my boo babe tastes like Kool-Aid for the analyst. Girl, I can buy your Westie world with my base stuff. I know that it's good. Won't you sit it on my taste buds? I get way too petty once you let me do the extras. Pull up on your block and break it down. We playing Tetris. AM to the PM, PM to the AM phone. Eat up your per diem. You just gotta hate them phone. If I quit your BM, I still rock Mercedes phone. If I quit this season, I still be the greatest funk. My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down.
What's trending in sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razorbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
What's trending in sports? We've been talking about Sweet 16 with Arkansas taking on Arizona tonight, but a lot of other matchups going on. Michigan State is taking on UConn, and here is Tom Izzo on that East region. We know how tough it is and how stacked it is with some of the teams, some of the coaches that are involved and still playing.
It's a chance, as I don't know if it was Andre or Charlie, one of those guys back in the day, to be the best, you got to beat the best. And UConn proved that they're the better team right now. But when you have UConn, Michigan State, St. John's now with Rick and how they're playing, and Duke, that's not a regional final, that's a Final Four. And pretty exciting to be a part of that, to be very honest with you. Ours really, I don't know how everyone else, how the brackets turned out. I wasn't one of the 30 million that filled out a bracket. I filled out the first weekend, and then I got nervous and didn't fill out anymore. But when you look at the other brackets, where our 1 is still there, our 2 is still here, our 3 is still here, and our 5. So 4-5 with Kansas, and I can't believe St. John's was a 5. Can you? They beat UConn twice. And, and I still think UConn deserved to be a 2, but I think maybe Wichita should have been a 3 or 4. I don't know. I don't care. What it is ours is pretty chalk.
And this time of year, seeds don't matter. Doesn't matter what seed you are, you're still playing basketball. That's all that matters.
You're just worried about the team that's in front of you. The little number in front means absolutely nothing.
Illinois coach Brad Underwood, he was asked, is it unfair that Illinois is playing Houston in Houston? Here's Brad Underwood with his thoughts on that.
I'll be honest, I could care less. And I'm gonna sound really kind of selfish here. I'm an old JUCO ball coach. I drove on 16 passenger vans. I drove from Dodge City, Kansas to Mesa, Arizona for a basketball game, for a tournament in a bus. You had told me back then that I'm getting to coach basketball in the Sweet 16 and play Houston. I would sign up for it. I would crawl to get there. If we want to beat them, no matter where we play them, we'd have to play great. Guess what? We're going to have to do that tomorrow. And I think they're going to have to play well if they want a chance to beat us. And so we've won on the road. We've been pretty successful doing that in the Big Ten. So I don't pay too much attention to it. I'm just grateful for the opportunity, and you know, playing Houston's a challenge enough. It doesn't matter where.
There's going to be a domino effect in college basketball with some coaches and some coaching changes. So first up, we have Will Wade. He's returning to LSU, and he was suspended by LSU during that 2019 NCAA tournament. They suspended him, and they later fired him amid NCAA probe that left the program with significant sanctions at the time. And Will Wade, he issued a statement saying, "This was not an easy decision because of how much respect and appreciation I have for this program and this university," talking about NC State. "But the opportunity to return to Louisiana State University is deeply personal. It's a chance to go home to a place that means a great deal to me and my family."
Going home is always a great option if you've got the chance to do it. So, I mean, I don't know that there's going to be a whole lot of people that are going to say bad things about him wanting to go back, other than those that want to bring up 2019, and there are going to be those that do. But, I mean, for the most part, I mean, if you had a chance, one shot at vindication and reset the program to where you had it before, you'd probably jump at that chance too.
Here's the bottom line to this whole deal, Todd, is everything he was accused of, alleged of, what happened, what they felt like the truth was that came out of that, it's all legal now. Everything he was said to have done as far as recruiting violations, he's in the clear.
Yeah, the landscape has changed so much in the last couple of years. You know, what he, like you say, what he was doing in 2019 that wasn't right is now right. So 6 of one, half dozen of another.
TJ Otzelberger, Iowa State's coach, he's having to address some of those coaching rumors.
First, I'd just like to start by saying any speculation with me and any other jobs or opportunities is not true. The coach of the Cyclones, thrilled to be the coach of the Cyclones, and what I can say to you even more as we move forward together is the alignment on our campus with Dr. Cook, Jamie Pollard is amazing, and we're thrilled and excited about our future together. So really appreciative and grateful to Jamie Pollard and David Cook and conversations we've had, and so just excited about our future. So that's topic number one. There's no questions about it. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing else to answer. That's the truth.
So that was TJ Otzelberger from Iowa State. Also, Tommy Lloyd, Arizona's coach, who we've heard quite a bit from, Arkansas's opponent tonight. But he was asked about UNC and the opening there.
You may have heard there's an opening in Chapel Hill. Your name is being bandied about pretty prominently. I don't know if you want to make news or address that too specifically, but I would think at a relatively early point in your head coaching career, the fact that when the best jobs in America open up, your name is thrown into that must be pretty nice. So take that anywhere you want.
Oh, wow. Well, thanks. I prefer Mr. Mike. What I'll say, Seth, is I already have one of the best jobs in the country. And one thing we talk about in our program all the time, and I think I've gotten better at, and I think our team's been crushing it this year, is just the ability to have full focus and be present in the moment. And so I think we have a great team. I think we have a chance to advance in this tournament game by game, but I'm not delusional. I know we could lose tomorrow, but this team deserves my full focus. So there's not one thing that is going to knock me off my path. I'm 100% focused on Arizona basketball and this program, and I can't wait till the ball gets thrown up tomorrow, and then can't wait to try to figure out a way to come out on top.
So there it is, a couple of coaches at Iowa State, Arizona, talking about some of those coaching rumors, addressing that, and just kind of clearing the air, saying that they're enjoying where they are right now, and that's all they're thinking about. But what else are they going to say? They're not going to say anything different.
Yeah, at this point, they're not going to try to break any news. I mean, it would be detrimental, I would say, to do something like that now. So, yeah, they're going to be tight-lipped and coach speak out.
Had a couple of overtime games, NBA-wise, last night. Hawks-Pistons. Hawks win it, 130, 129 in OT.
CJ lets it fly. The big throw. Lane, Landale, up top, CJ. He'll drive, floater.
A good ball movement by the Hawks that last time. Jock Landale realized he didn't have anything. Kicks it out to CJ. CJ knows exactly what to do with it.
Timberwolves got a win over Rockets last night in OT, 110-108.
Rockets throw it away. Julius Randle leads a 2-on-1, possibly a 3-on-1. Nas keeps it himself and hammers it through.
Randle in a pick-and-roll situation with Bones Highland. Boy, out of the timeout to have that kind of execution.
NBA expansion is upon us in the next couple of years. We'll have a couple new teams. The markets that they're looking at, Vegas, Seattle, they've narrowed it down to those. And here's Shams Charania kind of giving some insight into NBA expansion, what we can expect over the next couple of years.
Unanimously voted in favor of the league exploring expansion, 2 new expansion teams exclusively in Las Vegas and Seattle. And so to put it plainly, now the bids will start rolling in, and there's an expectation around high-ranking officials that it's a matter of when, not if, the league expands. And so how this process plays out over the next several months, the league will accept bids for both markets, Las Vegas and Seattle. They've enlisted an investment bank to assist in the process as well. And bids are expected to be, I'm told, in the range of $7 to $10 billion per team. And then a second vote would be necessary by the end of 2026, depending on where the bids shake out at, to finalize and execute this expansion to 32 NBA teams. And that's all slated for the when of the Sol, which would be targeted for the 2028-2029 season, when both teams, Seattle and Las Vegas, would start play, and they would both be Western Conference teams, and that would mean one of Minnesota or Memphis likely moves to the East.
Most likely Memphis. Memphis is closest in proximity where you're talking about east-west. Memphis would be likely to make that move, as he mentioned there, but possibility for Minnesota to move east.
Like you're saying, I think Memphis would probably be the more likely candidate. Minnesota, I think, I mean, neither one of them are really
close,
east,
right? Yeah,
or west necessarily, but I mean, you could see Minnesota more in the west because you've got teams like Houston and Dallas who are also in the west. So, I mean, if you're doing it basically by, the Mississippi River as a line of demarcation, then Memphis probably would be the more likely choice.
Yeah. Minnesota, though, it's like it's far north and in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
When you go far north. So whether they're in the east or west, I don't think it really matters for them.
Nope.
MLB got started last night. Yankees, Giants. Yankees come away with a 7-0 win.
And there's a shot into left field. Ramos goes to get it. Stanton on his way around to score. It's still only one away. First pitch to Trent Grisham, cranked up and sent into the right center field gap. McMahon's going to score easily. They're going to wave Wells around. Plays to third. Throw hits another runner. Wow! 5-0 New York for the guy they call Big G, who has driven in a run with the third straight hit to open the 5th inning.
11 MLB games overall today. 7 of them are already underway. So the one that Started first, Mets-Pirates. Mets 11-5 over Pirates, top of the ninth.
And that game's on NBC right now. I've been keeping an eye on it here every once in a while.
Oh, yeah, and there are a lot of games. MLB.TV is a way to follow a lot of them. And then ESPN Unlimited, which is tied to MLB TV. But of the games remaining, so another one actually just started, so we're talking about, or another two. So 9 of 11 games are underway.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals game just got started here in the last few minutes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, yep. So the remaining 2 games, Diamondbacks, Dodgers, that's going to be a 7:30 game. Guardians, Mariners, that'll be a 9-10 game. So those games will take place a little bit later, but 9 of 11 games so far underway, MLB action. So for the most part, even though it was opening night last night, you have one game. A lot more teams are playing today. We'll finish here with Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco has re-signed a contract with Bengals for 1 year, and he said he's talking about him still playing at such an advanced age, and here's Joe Flacco on talking about still playing.
I feel like I have unfinished business. That's part of why I'm still here and playing and doing all those things, and not being one of those guys to go sign somewhere. Yeah, it pisses me off a little bit, but at the same time, like I'm very happy to be here, and that's also why I don't see this as the end. Like I that's just not how I'm viewing it in my mind. Like I feel like I can help a team win, and yeah, it may be in a different role here, but I do still think I can help this team win in that role. I had a lot of fun with Joe, and Joe's the guy. And believe me, I wish I was a guy somewhere. And I think teams are dumb for not having me be that guy. But it is what it is, and I'm not going to let them or it get me down. I'm going to be the person I am and just approach football the way I always have. I'm just going to approach my job like a professional and be the best I can be in my role and have fun with the guys that I have in this locker room. I just still feel like I can, just like what I always have. Like, listen, I'm a football player. I want to go out there and play, and I still want to show people that I'm better than you think I am and all that stuff, just like I always have. And like I said, I understand that what I'm doing here is a little bit different than that, but it doesn't mean I don't still have those thoughts.
Joe Flacco says, quote, "I'm better than you think I am." Now, we know he can still throw it. He never has been able to run away from anyone. Had a little bit earlier in the career, but he's definitely not running away from any defenders now. So if they send some pressure at him, he's known for getting the ball out quick, and a lot of times they have those plays dialed up where, because Bengals have those dominant receivers, they put him in that quick pass game, and he's really effective with it.
Yeah, I mean, if your release is within 2 seconds after you get the ball, you get it to Jamar Chase or any of the Bengals receivers, I mean, that's as good as a run play. I mean, if you do the quick game or if you happen to have a good setup on the offensive line and you're able to get downfield on a chunk play, I mean, Flacco has still got the arm and the ability. Like you say, he's just not going to be able to run away from anybody.
And speaking of older quarterbacks, Tom Brady, who is retired, he said he actually looked into playing again. He'll be 49 in August, but he said, I actually inquired about playing, and they didn't like that idea very much, saying NFL. They didn't like it. He said, so I'm going to leave it at that. And we explored a lot of different things. I'm very happily retired. Let me just say that, too. And in order for Tom Brady to play, he would have to divest his ownership stake in Raiders. But he says he's happy there. That's according to a league spokesperson. And he also said the reason he wouldn't be able to play is because it would be salary cap issues tied to not only the team in place, but he said they don't want to create a situation where you're talking about active players having ownership and stakes in teams. Caleb Williams, just a couple of years ago when he was drafted, that was something that he brought to the table. He was wanting to start something, a new trend there where players had stakes and investments within a team, and NFL shut that down right then. So Tom Brady, he said that's what's holding him back from playing, but he's happy in the role that he's in. Plus, he's making a lot of money as an analyst.
I was just going to say he's getting 300-something million from Fox. I'd stay put.
He's getting more money than he did when he played. He's getting more money as an analyst than he did as a quarterback. Here's a quarterback that's looking to make his way and break into NFL, Ty Simpson. He says that he feels like he is a first-round pick. He says, absolutely. I feel like I've done everything I can, but it's not up to me. I just know that wherever I go, I'm going to give it my all and make sure I'll put my best foot forward. There's going to be a lot of questions around my name. I know what I'm capable of. I know whoever gets me is going to get a good player and a guy who loves football, a guy who loves the team and loves being a part of something bigger than himself. So, Ty Simpson, we know that Fernando Mendoza, so far, he's been talked about as number 1 overall pick and guaranteed lock as far as a quarterback first round. But we know that teams get needy, and there are always quarterback-needy teams. They're going to take a chance on – you wouldn't expect that it would just be one quarterback drafted first round. Now, we have seen it as recently as 2021, where there was one quarterback taken in the first round, and then there weren't any quarterbacks taken for a while after that. But most drafts, you see quarterbacks taken in the first round, especially in the first round, because teams are wanting to at least have that opportunity to put a player under a fifth-year option. So Ty Simpson said he expects to be a first-round quarterback. We're going to take a break here on Out of Bounds. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce from TruService Credit Union Studio. We're going to come back on the other side, be joined by Chris Shenup of Arkansas Urology. We'll talk to Chris. Stay tuned. More of Out of Bounds coming up.
Still on the sidelines? Then it's time you suit up and get in the game. Download Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app, Bet Saracen, today.
This is SportsCenter.
The Razorbacks take on the Arizona Wildcats in the Sweet 16 tonight at San Jose. The game will be at 8:45 on CBS. This is the 9th time overall that the Razorbacks and Wildcats have faced off on the hardwood. The first meeting between the two schools dates back to 1949, where the Razorbacks beat the Wildcats 65-44 in Dallas, Texas, during the NCAA District 6 playoffs. The most recent meeting between the two schools was in November of 1995, when the Wildcats beat the Razorbacks 83-73 in Fayetteville for the preseason NIT. The first game of the Sweet 16 is tonight at 6:10 on CBS as Texas takes on Purdue. On TBS and True TV at 6:30, Iowa takes on Nebraska. And after the Arkansas-Arizona game, Illinois takes on Houston at 9:05 on TBS and True TV. I'm Trip Keeter for the Buzz Radio Network.
Randy Rainwater is taking Drive Time Sports on the road to Walk-Ons in Conway this Thursday from 4 until 7 o'clock to get ready for the Arkansas-Arizona game. It's Sweet 16 time. So stop by, say hello to Double R, and get ready to call those hogs with Drive Time Sports live from Walk-Ons in Conway Thursday.
Hello, Buzz listeners. It's Chris Zender here at Frank Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep in Sherwood. Listen to this. It's March Madness, the month of crazy deals. Here's what I got for you. Available 0% financing, available sales tax paid, available 0 down, and available 90 days to your first payment. Let me tell you about these deals. Ram trucks up to $12,000 off. The Jeep Compass 4x4 is 0 down, just $439 a month. Grand Cherokee 4x4, $469 a month. Now here's the big one. We got some lease deals. We're making it affordable to drive what you want. Gladiator lease, 0 down, $449 a month. Wrangler lease, just $499 a month. That's real savings in your pocket. This is the month to save big. We make it easy to buy. No pressure, no games. And don't worry about your credit. Go to FletcherCredit.com and get pre-approved in minutes. Folks, we're still buying cars every day. Bring your old car to Fletcher Dodge and turn it into cash. At Fletcher Dodge, you always get the best price, the lowest finance rate, and more for your trade. Shop us before you buy anywhere else. Come see us, 5922 Warden Road, or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
Around here, reputation matters. That's why homeowners and businesses trust CertaPro painters. From detailed residential work to professionally managed commercial projects, CertaPro delivers craftsmanship to protect your investment. Visit CertaPro.com, that's Certa with a C, and reserve your spring project today.
Gear up for spring with the Pro Sales event at Cabot Outdoors in Cabot. 20% off Hustler commercial mowers. From the X1 and X-Rides, Surfer X, Trim Star through Hustler's Super Z. Cabot Outdoors has you covered so you can cover more ground. Not only can you save 20% at Cabot Outdoors, but they'll take care of you for years to come with their excellent service department. Shop now and save with Hustler and Cabot Outdoors. 901 South Pine Cabot or CabotOutdoors.com.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 501-382-9100. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 501-382-9100. That's 501-382-9100.
If there's anything green in your yard right now, it's probably a weed, and you need to do something about it. Weed control and fertilization service from Sanders Ground Essentials is easier and less expensive than doing nothing or even trying to do it yourself. 315-9395 or go online at sandersground.com. Let's get growing.
Out of bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios.
Welcome back Out of Bounds. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Wes Moore enjoying a day off. He has 2 more days, and spring break is going to be over. He'll be back next week. We're now joined in studio by Chris Shenup of Arkansas Urology. What's up, Chris?
What's up? It seems like y'all got some new headphones or some new equipment in here since I was in here last.
Man, we got some new stuff. We're trying to get updated and renovated.
There you go.
All new.
You know, this could be sponsored by some local company or something out there.
Oh, absolutely. You know it.
Underwritten and paid for.
That's how we do it.
I know.
So
how y'all been?
Oh, good, man. Everything's good. We're rolling along right now because of basketball team, and we just keep it all going. Baseball's underway, and we're going to see just how good that Razorbacks baseball team is. Gotten into conference play now, so we'll know a little more about them. But how's Arkansas Urology? What's going on with the foundation?
You know, Joe, we're good. I've been there now for about 6.5 years. Obviously, we've been proud to be partners, strong partners with the Buzz throughout my time there. And so, looking back, we've raised about $1.6 million in 6.5 years to really benefit prostate cancer awareness and men's health. We have rock stars like Dr. Gilreed Jones and Dr. Tim Goodson. And then, obviously, our board of directors, Ellen Cockrell and Greg Hatcher, just to name a few. But we're rolling right along and, just enjoying this warm weather.
How you feeling about this game tonight? Arkansas, Arizona.
You know, we were just talking about during the commercial break, me, you, and Todd. I'm nervous. I could see it going either way. part of me hopes there's a little bit of redemption. You know, it was a painful loss last year in the Sweet 16. What are y'all's thoughts?
Arkansas has a chance for
Yeah.
sure. Going up against a really tough team, lost 2 games all year. We know that they're strong inside, and that's not necessarily Arkansas's strength.
Right.
So you have to play to your strength and play the matchup, play how you feel is going to best win you the game. And Coach Cal has said that both teams are able to draw fouls and get to the line. So he expects that both teams will be able to do that. But he also said if they let them play, that could be something that works into Arkansas's advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I obviously it's one of the most anticipated games of the tournament so far. Todd, what do you think?
As far as Arkansas, Arizona, I'm like you. I'm kind of nervous about it. As we were sort of discussing in the break, I'm concerned by Arizona's height and by the lack of depth on the Arkansas bench. So, I mean, fouls are going to be an issue. Rebounding will be an issue. How Arkansas is able to negotiate both of those will go a long way as to how well or not they do.
Yeah, I'm glad we're getting Pringle back. Just have another body. You know, I am worried about our depth. But you know, where there's an Acuff, there might be a way. So, you know, it's been fun to watch him all season, and hopefully tonight's not the end, but we keep going further.
Man, Acuff has been just outstanding all year. I mean, he's getting all the credibility, all the awards, everything that he deserves. And so many times we hear about preseason and how the team is ranked or players and how the media is voting on them. It's all proven during the season. So those postseason accolades, that's what you want to be talking about more. So it's good to have that conversation before the season starts, be in the conversation. But at the end, this is when you really want to be talked about just because of your play and you're well-deserved at this point. But most importantly, these guys, they could push all that aside, and as long as they're still playing, the farther they go, they couldn't care less about that.
Yeah, you know, one thing I didn't realize, I was reading some things before I popped into here, but I didn't realize that Arizona's coached Acuff during the USA basketball camp, which y'all might have hit on a couple summers ago. So he was singing his praises and just said that he had gotten to know Acuff during that time. But I thought that was a pretty cool connection that I didn't have any idea about.
That's a nice connection.
Mm-hmm.
So thing about it is he scouted him. He knows him.
Yeah.
He's seen him up close. But you can scout players as much as you want to. The players on the court, those are the ones that have to deal with him, try to stop him.
Yeah.
Now, a good way to maybe try to slow him down is throwing things at him that he has to deal with on the defensive end. We saw that Vandy in that SEC championship game, they had Miles going at him, and Duke Miles, that was their way of trying to slow him down, where they were throwing some offense and putting him in some defensive situations where he looked like a liability on that end, and trying to run him and take some of his energy away. But in the end, Arkansas was able to still pull it off, and Acuff was still having Acuff type games on that offensive end.
Yeah, you know, and then I guess obviously Cal recruited Pete, you know, so he's come out and said what a good kid he is and how much he enjoyed getting to know his family. So I think it's probably just kind of a commonality, you know, when you get to be in this part of the game of the basketball tournament. But ready for it to get here tonight. You know, it's finally game day.
Think about Pete. They're a really athletic family.
Mm-hmm.
He has a brother who plays NFL right now.
That's right.
Yeah, last year he Steelers.
Yeah.
He was Steelers offensive tackle, left tackle, but he's been in a number of places. But when just hearing the name, you feel like there is some relation, and that's his brother, Andrews Pete, and he's actually taller, I believe. He's 6'8".
Okay.
So Andrews Pete, 6'8", offensive tackle, and he's heavier for sure because he's over 300 pounds at 6'8".
I'd probably look like I come up to both of their ankles, knees maybe. Hey, Joe, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on their new coach, the Steelers?
Well, you would be able to address that probably better and more so than I could, because he's not only been Packers head coach, Cowboys head coach, now he's Steelers head coach. But you don't really see that often where you're talking about a coach that's had 3 opportunities to be a head coach with certain organizations. Now, a lot of it played into the fact that he's from Pittsburgh.
Right.
He was looking into getting back in coaching. Think that there may have been another opportunity for him regardless, because you had some teams out there that made some second hires. Titans, Giants. I don't think Giants were going to hire him, but could have seen Titans hiring him. Could have seen Arizona Cardinals. So I think the fact that he's from Pittsburgh was a major factor.
Yeah.
And he's out of the norm for what they do. They usually go for the young and up-and-coming coach. And that was the thought, not only from fan base, but everyone out there. Initial thought, they're going to get the next up-and-coming young coach. And they went against the grain, against the norm for what they do. And they hired the hometown guy. But wasn't excited about the hire at all.
Yeah.
But because I was in that frame of mind with the young up-and-comer. But now that the hire has been made, it's kind of like you got to roll with it. This is what it is. You can't change it.
Yeah.
They've made some really good assistant coaching hires, and they put the roster together well. But I can't say I'm expecting a lot. I'm not expecting much more than what was already in place.
Do you are you excited about the him being connected back with Rodgers?
No, not at all. I almost was like Rodgers. He could have left that part of his career in, we could have let that go.
Yeah.
He never had to go to Pittsburgh. And not only do I feel like that, I know that there's people in the fan base, they wanted to see them turn the page and get ready for a young quarterback in place right then.
Yeah.
Now it gives you another shot at it, another opportunity to turn the page. But it's almost like Steelers ownership, they were speaking from both sides. Where initially they said, well, Mike Tomlin is gone. Aaron Rodgers was Mike's guy, and so we wouldn't anticipate that he's going to return. But then you go hire the guy that he has history with, so that entices him to return.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they're looking at it from both sides. But at this point, at some point, whether it's now, next season, they're going to have to turn the page and get a young quarterback ready to go. You might as well do that sooner than later.
Yeah, or else he might be the next Tom Brady who's talking about playing football at 49.
You know, the difference in the two of those, though, is Tom Brady always said he had a goal of playing till he was 45.
Yeah.
And whenever Aaron Rodgers was asked about it, he said, I'm not playing till I'm 45. I'm not going to do what Tom Brady does. But the longer he keeps playing, he's getting closer to what not where Tom Brady stopped, but his initial goal of 45, because Aaron Rodgers is 41 now. During the season, if he plays, he'd be 42. So he's well on his way. And he went in the last season with a vision of that being his last season. And somewhere along the way, he opened up to the fact of possibly playing again. Now, I think Steelers brass had a lot to do with that, because they were telling him, we like the way you've played. We like the way this team has been set up and what's happened. So we'd love to see you come back. They told him that mid-season without really letting it play out. And now here they are once again in the same bind they were in last year, waiting around. But Aaron Rodgers, he had a tough season where it's like it was up and down. He had some success, but also he realizes he can't run away from anyone.
Yeah.
He broke his wrist during the season. So from a mobility standpoint, he can't do much.
Yeah.
And that's where the game has changed. You have to have some kind of mobility as a quarterback. But in saying that, Joe Flacco, he said he still wants to play. And he hadn't closed the book, and he's talking like he wants to play for years to come, especially if he gets another opportunity at being a starter. And you just see these guys, because of Tom Brady, playing longer and longer. And Phillip Rivers, last year we saw him step out of retirement. He was in line for Hall of Fame balloting, and because he stepped back on the field, they reset the clock. Now it's 5 years more.
Yeah. Sorry to get off topic. Now back.
We're
back to basketball.
No, we're good. We're good. We talk about it all here on Out of Bounds. We're going to come back and get ready to close shop. We have one segment left here, and we're going to get you ready for Drive Time Sports. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Chris Shenup. We'll be back on the other side. Stay tuned. More of Out of Bounds.
FanDuel, in partnership with Oaklawn Sports, is now available in Arkansas. With FanDuel, you can get in on college hoops action any night of the week because Oaklawn Sports, powered by FanDuel, has all your favorite college basketball bets, from points to rebounds to which team you think is going to win. Plus, you can even combine your bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. And for a limited time, new Arkansas customers get started with $300 in bonus bets, guaranteed, when you place your first $5 bet. So just visit FanDuel.com/Arkansas to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/Arkansas to get started with $300 in bonus bets when you place your first $5 bet. Play your game with FanDuel. Now available in Arkansas. 21 and up and present in Arkansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When the unthinkable happens to your home or business, whether it's damage from smoke, water, fire, or mold, let Rainbow Restoration make you whole again. Their extensively trained team, state-of-the-art equipment, and 24/7 rapid response will help get your life back on track fast. Because this isn't just their service area, it's their home. When you need them, find them at ArkansasRestorationExperts.com. Rainbow Restoration, where they restore, you recover. Services performed by an independently owned and operated franchise.
We got the big deals, the big rock.
It's the declaration of deals at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram in Benton. We're going to take $11,000 off Grand Cherokees, and we've got the new Compass starting at just $27,995.
Terry, it's Wrangler season. Tell them what we're going to do about those.
This year, Jeep has reduced their factory-based price by thousands. So we're starting new Jeep Wranglers at $34,999. So come see us at Chris Crane Dodge Jeep Ram in Benton.
The big rock Benton.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8943. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-8943. That's 800-575-8943.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter agents Matt Warden, Jamie Marsh, or Richard Yeager in Little Rock today.
Arkansas Municipal Equipment in Poen, founded over a decade ago by Daniel and Vanessa Ellison. They lease and sell trucks, trash carts, roll-off dumpsters, and street sweepers. Proud to be Arkansas's only authorized dealer for New Way refuse trucks and Timco street sweepers. Your authorized dealer for Galfab roll-off and hook lift trucks. You can get parts and service for all makes and models with technicians traveling the state to take care of you.
AME, it's the service after the sale.
Out of
bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union studios. TruService Credit Union. Membership has its rewards with low-rate auto loans, competitive mortgages, and one of the lowest interest rate credit cards in the nation. TruService Credit Union. Online at TruService.net.
Here come old back top, he come grooving slowly. He got juju eyeball, he want holy roller. He got hair down to his knee. Got to be a joker, he just do what you please. Yeah. He wear no shoe shine, he got toe jam football, he got monkey finger, he shoot Coca-Cola, he said, I know you, and you know me. One thing I can tell you is you got to be free. Come together right now over me.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds. Joe Franklin, Todd Pierce, Chris Shenup. There's some news here from college football with spring practices getting going. Kurt Signetti, he said that Nick Marsh, who is a receiver, transferred from Michigan State, said he had an issue with Nick Marsh when he stepped on the field. I didn't love those gold shoes he came out in today. He learned what getting your ass ripped is all about. I don't know if it happened to him very often at Michigan State, but that was before practice started. He said so he didn't like the fact that he came out in gold shoes there at Indiana. He wants him to represent Indiana in Indiana colors.
Hey, speaking of Michigan State, I heard when I was walking in, Tom Izzo fills out a bracket. Y'all were talking about that.
Yeah, Izzo, he said that he fills out some for early round games, but he's
how many coaches do you think do that?
Not many. Not many at all. And he may have been joking. That may have been some sarcasm.
Yeah.
Just having some fun with the reporters there. Some of the MLB games that were going on, the one that ended first, Pirates, Paul Skeens got off to a bad start, and he got pulled in the first inning. Now, Paul Skeens has thrown a number of pitches because he played in WBC, playing for Team USA, but you don't see that often where, first of all, he gets off to a bad start, but even if he does, being the team's ace, they're going to roll with him for a while and not necessarily be quick to pull him, but I think maybe it played into the fact that he's already played some games and they don't want to overextend him, so he got pulled for some early struggles in the first inning.
Well, that and the Mets lineup is explosive enough. If he keeps struggling the way he had in that first inning, then things just snowball in a hurry, and it looks like they kind of did as it was. They were trying to mount a little bit of a ninth inning rally and came up a little short.
Let's take a look at that box score and see how it started off for them. Well, he had they gave up 5 runs first inning. So, yeah, they did get off to a shaky start. Big time. And
like
final
said,
score 7-11.
He has played quite a bit. I mean, you know, so that's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he did throw a number of innings in the World Baseball Classic, including in that semifinal. So I mean, and maybe a situation too where, I mean, that's been a couple of weeks. Maybe, he got hot there for a while, cooled off, and then you try to rev him back up, and there was a little bit of rust on the old vehicle, and couldn't get started like he normally would.
RG3, we saw NFL players playing flag football.
Yep.
RG3 said that he got invited to try out for Team USA flag football, and he's going to pursue it. So we got an idea of what that looked like. Team USA, the players that are there that are already on that team, they know the game in and out. They knew it a lot better than what NFL players are used to. Now, NFL players have time to get used to that game, but you could see that there were clear differences. RG3 said he's gotten the call.
What were y'all's thoughts on that game?
Kind of what was expected.
Yeah.
Maybe not to the degree that Team USA was able to win those games easily, but you expected that they were going to know the game in and out, show up, win, look a lot better, because these guys, they're used to physical contact. NFL players used to physical contact, tackling. That's not what happens in flag. You have to make that concerted effort to pull that flag, and if you pull a jersey, you pull shorts, or anything outside of that flag, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
So kind of what was
It
expected.
was an interesting dynamic, I thought.
It was. And we've seen it. We've seen NFL players, Pro Bowl, playing flag football, so it gave more insight as to what that would look like if you had NFL players playing in Olympic play trying to win these gold medals.
And your daughter played, right?
She did. Had a lot of fun.
Okay.
It was something that Jakira had never done. She's played basketball at an early age, but just getting out there on the field, exploring something new, she had a lot of fun with it. And Dupree Park there in Jacksonville where they play,
nice.
The flag football league that goes on there, they have girls flag football, co-ed teams, adult leagues. It's a fantastic place to play. They have outstanding facilities, great fields. They have soccer, volleyball, baseball. They have year-round sports there for Jacksonville, and they do a great job overall. Nate Oates, he's the next coach that says he has no reason to leave. And he said he's not going anywhere. He doesn't anticipate anything as far as any movement. So we're hearing that from a lot of college basketball coaches.
Is that what Arizona's coaches said?
Yeah, yep.
He said, yeah, this is one of the top jobs in the country.
Yes. So Arkansas Urology, what's the latest there?
Yeah, well, Joe, like we were talking about when I first popped in, it's been fun to have such a strong partnership with you and everybody here at the Buzz. Excited to kind of report that I'll be moving on next week to the private sector, but Arkansas Urology Foundation is a great cause with a great mission. It's been a great job, and I wish the foundation nothing but the best.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting for you to be pursuing other opportunities.
Yeah, and like I said, I can't thank you and everybody at the Buzz for all your support over the last 6.5 years.
Chris, it was great to catch up with you, have you in today. Todd, always, man, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
We had a great time here on Out of Bounds. We're going to come back and get us ready for the weekend. After this game tonight, Arkansas, Arizona, we'll have plenty to recap tomorrow. Stay tuned for Drive Time Sports coming up next.
Experience the unmistakable difference today at D3 Auto.